Welcome everybody to Character Crusade Campaigns. This is our attempt to play an RPG, a classic tabletop RPG in front of all of you. And we're hoping it's going to be fun for you. We're guaranteed it's going to be fun for us, but no guarantees for you. But we're going to try.
Which of the 14 cameras are we using right now?
Hmm?
Which of the 14 cameras is on right now?
All of them are on. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You're surrounded.
Mm-hmm.
It's like being in a TV
Yeah.
studio.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know because I got the hat on to protect from Sean.
Right. All right, so what we need to know is can everybody see us, hear us okay? That is the important thing here. So we always start with the obligatory sound check. So shout out in chat if you can hear us okay. See us
Actually, we
okay.
would like you
Thank
to shout out for real to see if we can hear you that way too.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, we are working on getting organized here still. So,
Yep, they say they can see us and hear us.
Hey.
all right. So, welcome to the first episode ever of Character Crusade Campaigns. Character Crusade Campaigns is really about classic tabletop pencil and paper RPG games. Particularly tonight, we're going to be, and I think for a while into the future here, we're going to be focusing on Pathfinder, and specifically, we're going to be focusing on the Freeport City of Adventure setting, which is something back in the day that I always wanted to play. I had the source book before Pathfinder came along, but I never got a chance to play it, so it's been collecting dust for a long time. I'm excited to play in this setting. The agenda for tonight is, as you see it there, we are going to start with some player introductions, and then we've got a few kind of housekeeping things that we're going to take care of. We're going to take a really short break to just reorganize ourselves, and then we're going to get on with the adventure. To start with, we need to communicate some information about how this experiment is going to work, and then secondly, a little bit of background information on the setting for those of you who are not familiar with Freeport. And then, after our break, we'll jump into actual character introductions and begin with the adventure. So, anyway, let's start by going around the table. I'm Stu. If you're watching this, you're probably watching it on one of my two channels, CouchWarrior TV on YouTube, or you are going to be watching it on a shiny, brand new Twitch site, which is also CouchWarrior TV. Welcome to you all. And next is Joe.
Hey everyone, I'm Joe.
Joe from Character Crusade Podcast. For those of you who aren't familiar, go and watch it, listen to it. If you haven't,
AKA Panicked Monk.
Yeah, also known as Panicked Monk. He's got his own YouTube channel as well.
For better or worse, it's out there.
Exactly.
Better.
And next we'll go to Matt.
Hi, Matt's here. I have a channel too, but I'm not telling anybody what it is because there's really nothing valuable out there anymore. We'll fix that soon.
Yeah.
Videos of white noise.
Well, it was trying to do the ASMR stuff. It just wasn't working.
Someone told me I should turn my corn videos into ASMR.
ASMR. Totally.
Your corn videos.
Corn.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
I heard
corn.
corn. You know, just in, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
corn,
If you're
they're
going
very
to do that,
similar.
then I'm gonna start streaming
Yeah.
my QWOP videos.
Yeah.
You do what you need to do, man.
Set to corn.
Well,
Set
you know,
to corn
if you
music,
can
yeah.
do if you can do QWOP as like co-op mode. One person running that there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, obviously, just because we're playing an
Tangent.
RPG game, we're still going to do all the nonsense that we normally do, which is all of our strange conversation.
Yeah.
We would also like to welcome to the team Tom.
Hey.
Introduce yourself, Tom.
Hey, everybody. My name is Tom, and I have the honor of leading the campaign here. So this is actually my first stab at leading an RPG since
Awesome.
I was 12 years old. So
Right.
this will be a learning process for
Yeah.
all of us. But
Yeah.
I'm super excited. I have no channel, but hopefully if this goes well,
You never know.
You know.
We could have the GM channel.
maybe.
DM Tom. Yeah. So, welcome, Tom. We're
Thank
really
you.
happy to have Tom here. It
Super
was
excited.
great that he agreed to do this for us. We really do appreciate it. And we're all going to be learning. Joe and I have a lot of experience playing these kinds of games, but it's a long time ago.
been a while,
Very, very long time ago.
I don't know if I've ever played Pathfinder versions, so I mean I know that
I haven't.
it's similar to some of the early D&D versions. What 3.5? I think.
3.5-ish.
And I don't
Yeah,
know
I
where
thought-
we left off
yeah.
at when we were playing. If it was
3.5.
was it 3.5?
I think
Okay.
so. I think the last thing I ever played was 3.5 and then kind of gave up on it for a while.
Well, and there would be no Skyrim without this.
True enough.
So
True enough.
this is
That's a
taking
good
it back.
But don't
to the
worry,
roots.
Tom. If
Yeah.
you get a roll wrong, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Oh no,
that's
that
some-
one's too high.
Yeah.
Oh, no. We'll give you another shot.
I'll use my other.
Here,
little
use
dice,
this
and that's
one.
Just fine. Yep.
So,
I thought Pathfinder was a probe that landed on Mars and went dark.
Oh no.
so
Oh, it's still looking.
It's still
just
looking.
a word for all of you. We definitely appreciate you coming to the live stream. We also want to let you know that we will be taking the footage from the live stream and cutting it up into videos that will be released on CouchWarrior TV. So if you miss anything, don't worry. You'll be able to go back and watch it in episodes, I guess, recorded episodes.
Probably with the Benny Hill theme song playing.
Possibly. Possibly.
Yeah,
I know that,
things up. Yeah.
I know that our overseas followers will be
Yes.
much appreciative
Yes,
of
they
that.
will. Yeah. If you
Hit
are...
a couple of them up on Discord that they're like, oh, it's going to be like 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
If you're watching us in
can't
Europe
do
right
it.
now, you're really hardcore, and we definitely appreciate that.
Yeah.
So just want to let you know that that's what's going to be happening. So tonight is, because it's our first time out, we've got some characters already created. Matt is a part of the way through his character concept. So what we're going to do in the first part here is Tom and Matt are going to go and work on finishing up that character. And while they're gone, Joe and I are going to give everybody a little bit of background on how this broadcast is structured and how it's going to work and how you can participate. And then we're also going to talk a little bit about the setting of Freeport to give you some background on how that all works. So you can get familiar, and we'll maybe point you to some resources where you can learn more about Freeport as well if you want to follow along with what we're all doing here. So that is what is next on the agenda. So guys, feel free, if you want to work in here, you can do that. If you want to work in an adjacent room next door, that's up to you. Joe and I will just do our thing at this point. So,
All right.
Just a good spot. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's do that. All right.
all right. Sounds good.
All right. Let's see.
I suppose I ought to get a piece of paper,
It might be helpful.
since it's a pencil and paper kind of a thing.
It might be helpful. Okay. Let me grab those.
You might want to very graciously explain
Yeah.
to people that I started on Skyrim like at level 1. This is one of those Kung Fu Panda starting at level 0. So
Well, yeah, I mean, as usual, Matt is the noob. So
I'm thinking he's
Hey,
liking the
he's-
title.
I
He just
actually,
refuses to give it up.
I out-noob rank you, actually.
how do you out-noob me?
Well, you have some Skyrim experience. You got some podcasting experience.
Yeah.
So
All right, so I'm
The
new
noobs.
to the game.
noobs.
the noob is
Are
the
gonna
Yeah.
like
Z.
that.
Yeah.
We're gonna go noob in the other room.
So they're kicking us out so that I can go make a character. We'll see you later.
All right.
All right.
We're not kicking
Behave
you out.
yourself.
We're not kicking
Say
you out.
goodbye to Matt. Everyone, wish him well.
No cheating. Yeah, don't roll any 20s while we're going.
All right.
Saving all the 20s.
Ooh, it's like a one-sided.
Yeah. Okay, so what we wanted to do, everyone, is kind of fill you in on how this is going to work. It's different than a traditional Character Crusade podcast, right? So there's a lot of work that has gone into putting this together so that we could conceivably put our best foot forward. We've got, as you can see, we've got 3 cameras in the room, and we've got different views that we're going to be using throughout this adventure experience. What you're seeing right now is kind of a generic view where we've got 3 equal-size cameras across the top, and then we've got room for us to post whatever we need to post to inform you about things like the agenda, to show you any items that are of importance, things like that. But we've got other views here that are going to allow you to see different things in different levels of detail depending on what we're actually doing. So first of all, I wanted to show you the map view. And the map view is just our opportunity to show you kind of a full-size map of Freeport. Okay? And this is one that we'll be referring to from time to time as Tom sends us around the city to do different things as part of the adventure. This is one that we probably won't refer to quite as much, but will definitely be an important resource as we move forward. Now, if you're interested, this image is an image that's freely available. You can find it through Google Images just by Googling Freeport RPG or Freeport RPG map or something like that. This will pop up, and it's a relatively large image. So feel free to take a look at it. What we've done is we've incorporated it in here so that we can show you this map at various sizes, and we can focus in on different parts of the map depending on what it is that we need to do. Okay? So here I'm going to show you an exploded view so you can kind of see what that looks like. And really what this is going to do is it's just going to allow us to sort of move around the city and then kind of keep you fully aware of where it is that we're traveling, okay? So the next view that we have created for the series is we're calling it the battle mat view. And this is the view that is really focused on getting in close with what's going on with the characters. You can see it right now. We're going to be using some miniatures to track what's going on with character placement when we get into combat situations and stuff like that.
Ooh, can I keep that?
What would you roll?
17.
No. Well, jot it down.
Oh,
Yeah. And
he did say to keep some history notes, right?
Yeah, jot it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
17.
We can call on that roll later.
Right.
So we understand you're probably getting a little bit of glare right now, and we're working on correcting that situation. Obviously, what we've got down here is a glossy map that is really just a duplicate of what is in our map window. Most of the time, we'll be using the battle mat, which is underneath this map, and it's more of a matte finish. It's not glossy, so you'll be able to see what's going on. We'll be drawing directly on it with marker and so forth. As a matter of fact, let's
We could probably just
take this
do
out.
that now.
Yeah. So,
Be a little easier.
yeah.
I hope I can get my 17 there.
Okay. So that's what the battle mat is going to look like. And as we get into combat situations, Tom will be using markers to draw things out on this. We'll be able to reposition the camera as needed so that you can see what's going on. And you can see we've got our figurines down here. These are just figurines that were part of my collection of miniatures from years ago. We're going to be swapping these out with probably miniatures that are more representative of our characters over time. So just wanted to make you aware of that. So hopefully everybody is with me here.
I'm with you.
Joe's with me.
I get you.
Joe's with me. Okay. So the next thing to note is, in order to help you guys follow what's going on, you'll notice that on our map view, we've got an overlay that shows the name of the characters. So our characters are Jinjin, Dunstan, Harlan, and Vril. Each one of those characters has a color associated with it, and then also a shape associated with it. So when you see an orange, yellow type die, you know that that's a roll that represents something going on with Dunstan. Okay? So that's really what that legend means. That's the character legend. And we used both shape and color as indicators here, so if we have anybody in the audience who has issues with color blindness, you can kind of follow what's going on based on shape as well. All right?
And these will improve over time, but in a
Yeah.
pinch, this is kind of where we're starting out. So there's
Yep.
nowhere to go but up from here, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right. Nowhere but up.
That's right.
Okay.
Especially for you with that one.
Oh, God. No. That doesn't count. So, that's kind of the battle mat view. And again, we'll kind of refine this over time. So if we find that the battle mat camera is not large enough, I can always blow it up to make it easier to see and take other things off the screen and stuff like that. So we are going to be reliant on you guys to kind of let us know over the course of time what's working for you and what's not. We want you to feel like you're part of the action and you can get a sense for what's going on the mat at any given time, especially when we get into complex combat type situations. Okay? So let's continue on our way here. That brings us to our integrated chat view. And this is chat that is actually integrated from the stream broadcast text channel that is on our Discord server. Now, this particular chat window is not available to you guys quite yet. We haven't set it up for that. This is a window that was really designed for when we do Q&A sessions. So I sort of envision that every so often we're going to do Q&A sessions where we're going to allow you guys to ask us questions about what's going on or make comments. If you make comments inside the stream broadcast text channel on Discord, those will be displayed here and we can address them. This is going to allow us to kind of separate some of the chaff and focus on the specific questions that you guys have about, what we're doing at any given time. Okay? So for those of you that, I guess that brings up another important point. Our Discord server is going to play a role in this adventure, and if you're interested in having a more complete Freeport City of Adventure RPG experience, you might want to get involved. We would highly encourage you to get involved in our Discord server. Now, you can get to Discord by going to discord.charactercrusade.com, and you create an account there. And eventually, you're going to find other things there as well. But what we've done is we have created a channel there for each of the characters in the party. So you're going to find a Freeport Jinjin, a Freeport Dunstan, a Freeport Vril, and a Freeport Harlan. Really what those are is they're sort of semi-private chat or text channels for each of the characters to kind of communicate amongst themselves or even with the DM during the course of an adventure. We're not exactly sure how we're going to incorporate this yet. We're still kind of working out the details. But the intent is that characters would be able to use this to communicate privately with one another during the course of an adventure without other characters in the party knowing it. But you would also, as viewers, be able to observe what's going on there. So you'll be able to kind of get any subtext of private conversations that are
Insider
going
knowledge.
on. Yeah,
Nice.
we're still working out how that's going to work from permissions perspective. We haven't worked out the details yet, but it's going to be something like that. For now, we're not really focused too much in the first adventure, in just spending a lot of time monitoring Discord, but we're going to try and incorporate that in some way to make it more interactive. The other thing that's important is, as DM, Tom has a lot of responsibility. He's got a lot of things that he's going to be worried about here. And our play style is that we're, as you can imagine, we're focused more on role play than we are on rules. We're not rules lawyers.
No.
But there are going to be times, given the fact that we're all new to the game and given the fact that Tom is new to DMing in this game, that we're going to have to make some decisions about things.
Mhm.
And sometimes it's feasible for us to go through a book and find some obscure rule to figure out what to do about a particular situation. But there are other times when we are going to go to Discord and ask for a ruling. And that's going to be at the DM's discretion. But there are going to be times when Tom will go to Discord and he'll say, hey, audience, give me a ruling on what we should do here. And this is going to be a great opportunity for you guys to chime in. Tell us what you think we should do in that situation. And that's another way that we're going to be able to incorporate you as the audience into what we're doing here. So we're very excited about that. I guess the last thing that I want to mention here is that we have a lot of resources set up to support our efforts in doing this. And so you may have noticed in the login screen that there were kind of a lot of references there to different resources that were available. I just want to reiterate what those are. So if you want to get information about the characters, who they are, including personalities, profiles, links to character sheets, character images, which have been graciously provided to us by Katie Bryson. Thank you, Katie. Woo! Okay.
Absolutely.
You can go to campaigns.charactercrusade.com and you'll find all of that information there. Now, like I said earlier, we're broadcasting on both YouTube and Twitch, so pick your poison. We have a lot of stuff going on Discord, so discord.charactercrusade.com for all that stuff, right? The other thing is that periodically as we go forward, we're going to be probably tweeting some ideas, some concepts about our characters on Twitter. And we have a hashtag for that, which is Freeport RPG. If you just look for anything under Freeport RPG, you're going to probably find a lot of stuff related to this campaign as we, probably socialize some ideas about directions we're going with our character concepts and all that kind of good stuff. I'm trying to think of what else we got. I think that's pretty much it. So anyway, you guys get the idea of how this is going to work. Going forward, what I would encourage you to do is if you want to sort of chime in, provide us with some feedback on this, on how we're doing here, you can go to charactercrusade.com and you can use our web form to give us some feedback on things you like, don't like, things you think we can improve. Of course, we're going to look at YouTube comments, but we would prefer to go to places like Discord or to our website submission form. So if you haven't done so already, we highly encourage you to get out there on Discord and join the fun. Now, that brings me to the last point, which is Patreon. Patreon.charactercrusade.com will get you to our Patreon campaign. And as part of our Patreon campaign, we're providing awards to our fans and viewers in the form of different permission level settings inside of Discord. So if you are contributing to our Patreon campaigns, you will get access to more features. You'll also get access to some private channels. And if you are a power patron for us, contributing at the $5 a month level, you'll also get access to our voice chat. And the voice chat will not be used in campaigns, at least not yet, that we're aware of. But it will be used for other special events, which are going to include things like our story club. We may do some interviews there. That's an opportunity for you to actually speak with other Character Crusade followers or couch potatoes, whichever it is, and actually have some voice conversation. And so we're expecting to have a lot of fun there. So we highly encourage you to check that out if you're interested. We do appreciate all the support. And for those of you who are not able to support us through Patreon, we also accept one-time support in the form of purchase of a t-shirt or a piece of gear. If you go out to our shop at shop.charactercrusade.com, you're going to find a number of brand new items out there, one of which is our campaign's official t-shirts and hoodie, which feature our new Character Crusade campaign's logo. So it's all pretty cool stuff.
Very nice.
Yep, and every time you purchase something like that, we get a little bit of a commission that we can put towards improving
This.
what we're doing here. So we hope you enjoy this. We have really enjoyed putting it together so far, and we're really very hopeful that it's going to work out well, and very grateful that you all have come back time after time to watch us do all of this crazy stuff. So we definitely appreciate it. Okay, so at this point, Joe is going to give us a little bit of background on Freeport. So as we said earlier, the rule set that we're playing is we're playing Pathfinder RPG, which is very similar in many ways to, say, Dungeons & Dragons 3.5. But what about Freeport? Freeport is a setting, and Joe is going to give you a little bit of background on Freeport so that you're not going into this completely blind. While he does that, I'm going to make a few adjustments in some of our cameras.
All right. So, completely blind, just like the four of us. Well, minus the GM, but... So, Freeport is a city, in Pathfinder universe, and as the moniker states, it is the city of adventure. And yes, I'm reading off of some paper because whenever I try to wing something like this, it just turns into a huge, miserable failure. So let's just go with some of the things that are written so it's a little more concise and easier to understand. So, Freeport is not a pleasant city. It is rife with opportunity. It is a city of delights, vice, and sin. I kind of get a mental image of Tortuga from Pirates of the Caribbean on that. Just kind of all over, but maybe in a bigger sense. It also reminded me a little bit of Ankh-Morpork in the Discworld series, but that's a whole different thing. So, here in Freeport, deals are made, intrigues planned, expeditions launched, conspiracies hatched, and dreams crushed.
Crushed?
I kind of thought that was actually pretty funny, but
Ooh, yeah.
merchants do a brisk business employing ruthless tactics to rub out their competition while thieves prowl the marketplace, slipping sharp knives against the strings of dangling purses. High and mighty men and women come to the city to broker dirty deals with other lords. So it's kind of an unsavory sort of city, but a city nonetheless. A pirate city, as you might imagine. Freeport is not a huge city. It's not a large, sprawling metropolis, but it is dense. It's a modest city huddling in all its ugliness at the southern edge of the largest island of the Serpent's Teeth. Now, there are 4 islands in the Serpent's Teeth, of which I cannot remember all of them. Matter of fact, I don't know if I can remember any of them off the top of my head. I want to say Twick might be one of them, but...
Twick?
Yeah, it's got an apostrophe, I think, somewhere.
That sounds like something Roger would say. It's a Twick.
It's a Twick.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Okay, sorry.
So, it is part of the Serpent's Teeth, and the city grew haphazardly. That the city grew haphazardly is not lost on those who venture here. So, pretty much it just is kind of like the Winchester House. Things just kind of get added on and on and on.
Okay,
There's no rhyme or reason.
Familiar.
There's no city planning. It's
Right.
just tacked on.
And if you look at the map, I mean, that's readily apparent. I mean, it's kind of crazy how things are just sort of laid out all over the place. So that's pretty cool, though. I like that.
The city is broken into, I believe, what I have found, 9 districts. The docks, which really don't need much explanation. Scurvy Town, which I believe is next to the docks, but the people of Scurvy Town are hardened and accustomed to the harsh nature of the streets and criminals' rule. It's kind of the criminal district, like organized crime.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
There is the Eastern District. Those who have the means and ambition to rise above the slums of Scurvy Town may find a slightly better life in the Eastern District. The middle-class citizens of the Eastern District don't have it easy, though, since they are surrounded by 5 other districts, 2 of which are Bloodsalt and Scurvy Town.
Ooh, blood salt sounds nasty.
Bloodsalt is nasty. But we will get to that last.
Okay.
Then there is Drax End, which is actually really funny. So Lord Drac is the founder of Freeport, I believe.
Okay.
And Drax End is so named because the original Drac, who had envisioned carving much deeper into the surrounding jungle, but it was here his ex-pirate workers stopped dead in their tracks, sometimes literally, by the creatures inhabiting the jungle. Since Drax's plans for expansion thus ended, it acquired this somewhat ironic moniker. It literally is where they stopped.
Okay. They just stopped
building and moving further into the jungles.
Okay.
The Temple District, again, doesn't need a lot of explanation.
Right.
It's
Temple District, okay.
Where the all the religious temple activity goes, even though Freeport has no official religion, the god of pirates is generally the most prevalent.
All right, I'm zooming in on the Temple District here.
Here's the Temple District.
And Drax End was up here at the top, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Right
Got it.
Stopped.
Got it.
All right. And then there comes the Merchant District.
which is down this way.
In stark contrast to the poverty of Drax End stands the Merchant District, where most of the wealthiest people in Freeport live and sometimes even work. Shops here cater only to the highest class of customer. So that's your upper end of town.
Okay.
The Warehouse District. Unlike the wharves down at the docks or Scurvy Town, the piers of the Warehouse District are heavily guarded and in good repair. Business done here involves serious money, and docking fees are commensurately high to cover the cost of the increased security.
Oh, okay.
So it's basically the merchant's version of the docks.
Okay.
That this area borders directly on the Merchants District is no coincidence.
Okay, so we got Merchants District. Or is that?
Yes, that's the Merchants
That's the
District.
merchant- okay.
And then down below that, I believe, would be your Warehouse District.
Oh, I see. Okay, okay.
So there's the Merchants District, and below it is the Warehouse.
Okay. Merchants, Warehouse District.
Correct.
And then docks.
Docks
of
right
course,
there,
all
yep.
along here. Okay.
And then there's the Old City,
Okay, the old city. That's
Which-
right here, hey?
as you might guess, is where Freeport first began under the original Sea Lord Drac.
Okay, and we can see the walls of the old city right here.
Yep.
And all this densely packed housing inside there.
And then lastly is Blood Salt.
Blood Salt is way over here, and it actually looks bloody even on the map.
It's a savory sort of place.
Yeah,
Blood Salt was an accident.
it was an accident.
The Blood Salt District was not intended.
Okay.
Formed in the aftermath of the Great Green Fire and the Wizards Guild's recruitment policy for hiring only non-humans, this place began as an encampment, but it rapidly grew to become a permanent addition to Freeport.
Cool.
Still, Blood Salt is more a ghetto for orcs and goblinoids than it is a proper district.
Okay.
So this is basically your non-human ghetto that
Oh.
started out as an encampment
Right.
because they were only recruiting humans.
Right. Okay.
And it just kind of tacked itself onto Freeport.
Okay, cool. So I guess that's a great rundown of kind of the districts that form this city. But we can talk a little bit quickly about the setting itself. I mean, really what we're talking about here is imagine all the classic Dungeons and Dragons fantasy races, okay? So
Elves,
Yeah.
orcs, halflings,
dwarves,
humans, dwarves,
gnomes, all that, right?
all of them, and then a few.
Yeah, and then in addition to that, we also have some other races that are part of this that are, probably most prevalent inside Blood Salt, and that would be, goblins, hobgoblins, even bugbears,
Right.
stuff like that. We also have a playable race called the Island Troll, which is in this. And there's also a mysterious race of serpent people. I don't remember exactly the name of them, but they're
I
sort of
don't know. I'd
referred
have to
to in
look
the
it up.
books as serpent people.
So yeah, there are a few races that are specific to the Freeport setting.
Yep.
The Island Troll and the Serpent race
Yep.
being those two of them. I
Absolutely.
can't remember if there are more.
And because of the close proximity of this city, or the reliance on this city with the ocean and harbor being sort of the nexus of trade, there is really kind of a bustling sort of pirate type atmosphere in this town, in this setting. So I think what you can expect to see here is a lot of sort of pirate related gameplay. Imagine sort of your traditional pirate, but with the addition of all of these fantasy races, the addition of magic, and we also have the addition of musket style weapons. So we do have rifles, we do have muzzle loaded pistols, and a few other kinds of firearms that are available to players here. So you're going to see firearms in some of the adventures here for sure.
Cool.
In addition to the traditional swords, bows, and crossbows that you would see in a typical fantasy adventure game,
Right.
right? So I think that covers most of the high points, I would say. If you guys have any specific questions that we can answer, we'll definitely try to do that. The question of steam power has come up. I really don't know if steam power is available here. It's not intended to be a steampunk style game, but that doesn't mean that there aren't some aspects of steam power available here. I think technologically speaking, that was a fairly close follow along to muzzle loaded weapons and things like that.
Right.
I'm not aware of anything like that. Although Tom will fill us in. He's done much deeper dive into the materials than we have.
That kind of stuff too. I mean, I think it really depends on the group as well as the game master on what they want to allow. How far out do they want to spread? If Tom is open to the idea of steam power, then it certainly could play a part.
So the question is, what sort of government does Freeport have? I don't know. Do you?
No, I don't. I did.
No.
I know. I'm sure it's in there somewhere. I don't know off the top of my head what it's.
If memory serves, I believe it's sort of the equivalent of a governor, like you would see.
I would think so.
Some kind of a governor like you would see in a city like Nassau. I don't know if you watch Black Sails at all, but it's something like that perhaps. I don't know that it's a ruling family. I do know that there are there's a fair amount of nobility, noble families that are families that have been in the city of Freeport for a long period of time. My guess is that they're firmly entrenched as the ruling class here, but I really don't know too much more about it. And that's by design, because when our characters enter this adventure, they're going to be entering Freeport completely green. So it was sort of imperative that we not be too versed in the inner workings of the city. So Tom has had access to the main setting guide for DMs, but we've been focused purely on just kind of the player guide materials for this. So
Right.
yeah.
And even then, I think we've only just kind of scratched the surface. So.
Yeah. Exactly.
I know. I don't feel like I've gotten any deeper.
I know.
There's a lot out there. There's
know.
definitely a lot out there.
There definitely is.
Considering it started out with a person with the title of Lord, kind of that governorship, I think would.
Yeah.
And then you would have the upper nobility as kind of the higher class merchants, I suppose.
Yeah, probably.
If you want to try to kind of.
So I mean, there's going to be. My guess is it's going to probably be fairly aristocratic, sort of governing groups that are probably based on these old money families that have been around in Freeport for a very long time.
Control the flow of things.
Yeah, that would be my guess. So we'll find out. I think the other thing worth mentioning here is that the Pathfinder game is actually published by Paizo Publishing. So if you want to get any more information about Paizo, you can look them up on the interwebs. Freeport Game Setting is published by Green Ronin Publishing, and if you go to their website and take a look inside their store, you'll find a lot of information about Freeport. There's a lot of books and modules and things like that. The interesting thing about Freeport is it's been around a long time. I mean, it's a setting I've been interested in a very long time, and the original Freeport setting was created for Dungeons and Dragons. But when Dungeons and Dragons decided to move away from being sort of an open source game framework, Paizo basically purchased what was left. I guess they purchased the 3.5 version or the last open source version of Dungeons and Dragons at the time that Wizards of the Coast decided to abandon that effort. This is my understanding. And at the time, Paizo was actually publishing a Dungeons and Dragons magazine. They purchased the rights to that open source and then made Pathfinder out of it. So we chose to play Pathfinder not only because Tom was familiar with the game, but because Joe and I were also pretty familiar with Dungeons and Dragons 3.5.
The basic underlying structure.
Yeah. So we figured it would be a slightly shallower learning curve in order for us to kind of get up to speed. So that was the idea there.
Any guilds? I would be shocked if there aren't any.
Yeah, we already know based on Joe's description that there's a mage guild.
There's going to be mages. There's going to
And
be
if there were not a thieves guild, there,
assassins
that would be
and
a
thieves.
freaking shame.
What they're called and where they're
Yeah.
located, I guess we'll find that. We'll discover it together.
Yep. Now, initially, the plan is that Tom is going to be obviously dungeon master, but he's also going to be playing a character. And as we all get more familiar with the game setting, we're going to be trading out the role of dungeon master and allowing Tom to play as well. So
Yeah,
that's
we'll
the
rotate
plan.
in time.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Speaking
Hey,
of,
you're back. All right.
All right.
Is now the expert.
We
All right,
just
so
birthed.
the great thing is we don't need to play because I'm going to win.
Yeah.
Nice. Man,
Matt's
Matt wins D&D.
Yeah.
I have-
Matt's
Sweet.
I have no idea what that even means.
Matt
Is that like
wins.
saying
I think we
winning
have a new
Skyrim?
hashtag.
No,
Matt wins.
I thought it was you had one job.
Everybody, thank you
Nice
so
to-
much. We're going to go to a very short break so we can get our act together here.
Get our what
And then
together?
Our act.
Yes.
We're doing a skit, so we got to work out the details. We're going to be back shortly, and then we will actually begin the adventure proper. All right. So we are going to leave you with a what we're calling a shanty break. Please enjoy yourselves and have fun. You want to
sing
mute that
along.
microphone?
Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Way, bully in the alley. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Bully down in Shinbo now. Sally is the girl that I love dearly. Way, bully in the alley. Sally is the girl that I splice dearly. Bully down in Shinbo now. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Way, bully in the alley. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Bully down in Shinbo now. For 7 long years I courted little Sally. Way, bully in the alley. All she did was dilly and dally. Bully down in Shinbo now. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Way, bully in the alley. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Bully down in Shinbo now. If I ever get back, I'll marry little Sally. Way, bully in the alley. Have 6 kids and live in Shinbone Alley. Bully down in Shinbone now. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Way, bully in the alley. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Bully down in Shinbone now. Hey boys. Oh, as I was going to Derby, it was on a market day, I met the finest ram, sir, that ever was fed a body. That's a lie, that's a lie, that's a lie, lie, lie. This ram and I got drunk, sir, as drunk could be. And when we sobered up, sir, we were far away out at sea. That's a lie, that's a lie, that's a lie, lie, lie. This wonderful old ram, sir, was playful as a kid. He swallowed the captain's spyglass along with the bosom spit. That's a lie, that's a lie, that's a lie, lie, lie. The night was very rough, sir, the wind like ice did feel. He borrowed me soon of oilskins and taught me trick at the wheel. That's a lie, that's a lie, that's a lie, lie, lie. He climbed aloft so full of him to stow the topsails tight. But halfway up he lost his nerve, he had an awful fright. That's a lie, that's a lie, that's a lie, lie, lie. One morning on the poop, sir, a 4 8 nails was struck. He climbed up to the sky's yard and sat down on the truck. That's a lie, that's a lie, that's a lie, lie, lie. Ah, this wonderful old ram, sir, he tried a silly trick. He tried to jump the 5 buffets and landed in a rick. That's a lie, that's a lie, that's a lie, lie, lie. This one Prancer, it grew towards the breast. One grew out of his shoulder blade, the other turned into a mast. That's a lie, that's a lie, that's a lie, lie, lie. The crew of the good ship Jack ties, handsome, strong, and brave. The finest crowd of sailors that ever sailed over the waves. That's a lie, that's a lie, that's a lie, lie, lie. Way, hey, up she rises, way, hey, up she rises, way, hey, up she rises, early in the morning. What will we do with the drunken sailor? What will we do with the drunken sailor? What will we do with the drunken sailor? Early in the morning. Way, hey, up she rises, way, hey, up she rises, way, hey, up she rises, early in the morning. Put him in the scuppers with the hose pipe on him. Put him in the scuppers with the hose pipe on him. Put him in the scuppers with the hose pipe on him. Early in the morning. Way, hey, up she rises, way, hey, up she rises, way, hey, up she rises, early in the morning. Put him in the brig until he's sober. Put him in the brig until he's sober. Put him in the brig until he's sober, early in the morning. Way, up she rises, way, up she rises, way, up she rises, early in the morning. I thought I heard the old man say, leave her, Johnny, leave her. Tomorrow ye will get your pay, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is long and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. Oh, the wind was foul and the sea ran high. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. She shipped it green and none went by, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is long and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. I hate to sail on this rotten tub. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. No grog allowed and rotten grub, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is long and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. We swear by our oath for want of more. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. But now we're through, so we'll go on shore, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is long and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. Now you're ready to sail for the Horn. Way, roll and go. Our boots and our clothes, boys, are all in the Horn. To be rollicking randy dandy, oh. Heave a pole, heave away. Way, roll and go. The anchor's on board and the cable's all stored. To be rollicking randy dandy, oh. Soon we'll be warping her out through the locks. Way, hey, roll and go. Where the pretty young girls all come down in their frocks. To be rollicking randy dandy, oh. Heave a pole, heave away. Hey, hey, roll and go. The anchor's on board and the cable's all stored. to be rollicking randy dandy, oh. Come breast the bars, bullies, heave her away. Way, hey, roll and go. Soon we'll be rolling her down through the bay. To be rollicking randy dandy, oh. Heave a pole, heave away. Way, hey, roll and go. The anchor's on board and the cable's all sore. To be rollicking randy dandy, oh. Here we go. We are outward bound for Kingston town with a heave-ho-ho. And we'll heave the old wheel round and round. Good morning, ladies all. And when we get to Kingston town with a heave-ho-ho, is there we'll drink and sorrow drown. Good morning, ladies all. Them gals down south are free and gay with a heave-ho-ho. With them we'll spend our hard-earned pay. Good morning, ladies all. We'll swing around, we'll have good fun with a heave-ho-ho. And soon we'll be back on the homeward run. Good morning, ladies all. And when we get to Bristol town with a heave-ho-ho, for the very last time we'll waltz around. Good morning, ladies all. With Paul and Meg and Sally too. With a heave-ho-ho, we'll drink and dance with a hullabaloo. Good morning, ladies all. So long goodbye to all you dears with a heave-ho-ho. Don't cry for us, don't waste your tears. Good morning, ladies all.
Come all you young sailormen, listen to me. I'll sing you a song of the fish in the sea. And it's windy weather, boys, stormy weather, boys, when the wind blows, we're all together, boys, blow ye winds westerly, blow ye winds blow. Jolly sou'wester, boys, steady she goes. Up jumps the ale with a slippery tail, climbs up aloft and reefs the topsail. And it's windy weather, boys, stormy weather, boys, when the wind blows, we're all together, boys, blow ye winds westerly, blow ye winds blow. Jolly sou'wester, boys, steady she goes. And then up jumps the shark with his 9 rows of teeth, saying, you eat the dough, boys, and I'll eat the beef. And it's windy weather, boys, stormy weather, boys, when the wind blows, we're all together, boys, blow ye winds westerly, blow ye winds blow. Jolly sou'wester, boys, steady she goes. Up jumps the whale, the largest of all. If you want any wind, well, I'll blow ye a squall. And it's windy weather, boys, stormy weather, boys, when the wind blows, we're all together, boys, blow ye winds westerly, blow ye winds blow. Jolly sou'wester, boys, steady she goes. The west of ship that ever did sail, sailed on a Erich on a windy day. And we're waiting for the day, waiting for the day, waiting for the day that we get our pay. She was built in rounded tides, out together with bits of twine. And we're waiting for the day, waiting for the day, waiting for the day that we get our pay. Nothing in a galley, nothing in a hole. A skipper's turned in with a bag of gold. And we're waiting for the day, waiting for the day, waiting for the day that we get our pay. Our 4-foot nest, they sprang a leak here at Port Out Timbers Creek. And we're waiting for the day, waiting for the day, waiting for the day that we get our pay. We popped our way round Scalby Nest when the wind back round to west-northwest. We're waiting for the day, waiting for the day, waiting for the day that we get our pay. Into the umber and up to town, pump you blighters, pump or drown. Waiting for the day, waiting for the day, waiting for the day that we get our pay. Waiting for the day, waiting for the day, waiting for the day that we get our pay.
Nothing like that. Yeah, we didn't quite get to that, did we?
We'll do it.
All right.
We'll make
All
it
right.
work. Hey, everybody, we're back.
Hello.
Thanks for
Hey.
bearing with us here.
No, are you kidding? I was loving listening to them sing.
I know, it was
awesome.
amazing. You guys are great singers. So, anyway,
We're going to release that on our first album, I think, don't you?
we could, yeah,
Absolutely.
the best of Character Crusade, or the worst of Character
Or the
Crusade.
worst, yeah.
I can't
not
wait for
very
the
nice.
Christmas special.
Oh, man.
I suppose we should have told them that we were recording them singing.
We should have. Yeah, sorry about that. We hacked into all of your microphones, and we've been recording all this.
That's why we were gone for a few minutes. I wasn't making a character. We were hacking your microphones. So.
Yeah.
If you don't believe him, see his sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not that one. The
Well,
official.
I'm
All
full
the
of
IP
sheets, what?
addresses are written on there. Okay, so we are preparing to start the adventure proper. While we were on our break, we kind of solidified what it was we were going to try and accomplish here upon our return, and then also kind of got Matt squared away here with his character. I think to start with, what we're going to do is we're going to go around the table and we're going to do a brief introduction of each character so you're familiar with the characters that are in play in the story here, and then we're going to commence with the campaign. So thank you all for your patience.
Perfect. I was going to ask about that.
All right.
Excellent.
Yeah, that actually would probably be a decent one since it's not as high gloss as the
Yeah.
actual.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay, so I can start. We can go around this way.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. My name is Stu. I am playing a character.
Hi, Stu.
Hey, Stu. My character's name is Dunstan Dornail Lawford. Dornail obviously being a moniker, and the genesis of that moniker I'm sure will come out during gameplay. But he is a half-elf, and he is kind of a custom class from the Freeport game setting called a freebooter, something kind of between a rogue and a fighter. So that's probably, I guess, we'll find out more about Dunstan as we play. So, Joe?
All right. My character's name is Jinjin. He bears the moniker of Arm Thumper. I don't know which camera to look at.
Yes,
Always this
all of
one.
the above.
Always
Look at
that
that
one.
one. Yep.
Okay.
But look at this one. Look at that one.
Look at that. Look
Camera
at that
one.
one.
Camera
That's
two.
so nice.
Camera 1. Camera 2.
They're not numbered.
Sorry.
Jinjin is another Freeport-specific race. He is an island troll. What else should
What's
we...
his class?
Jinjin is a ranger, and I'm going to be going with the archetype of urban ranger.
Okay.
So he is going to be more skilled in the urban setting.
Okay. And Tom, what was the URL of the Pathfinder resource site again?
have it right.
So if anyone gets curious and wants to know a little bit more about the mechanics, if you head to D20 PF for Pathfinder SRD, so D20PFSRD.com.
Yep.
That is like the central clearinghouse for what's the equivalent of probably a few thousand pages of game material.
And I found the search functions really good.
It's really
so,
good. It is just
you should
really,
be able to
really
find
good.
out,
Yep.
find what you're looking for pretty quickly.
Yep. It's an excellent spot to go. So if you get curious out there in Interpipes land and want to follow along a little bit about how the mechanics of the game go, feel free to check that out and just correct me as we go. So I think I'm opening myself up to some possible flaming as we get some of the mechanics wrong, but it's a learning process. We're here to have fun, so
That's
feel free to
very
check it
true.
out.
If you want to pick on somebody, pick on me.
So
You heard that. Pick on that.
D20PFSRD.com, correct?
Yep, www.
You may
Oh yeah, you got to have the dubs.
Put in the dubs.
All right, we got it.
I always like to
The
set them up
dubs.
with and without the dubs because you can shorten your URLs without needing a URL shortener.
All right, fellas, thank you. Proceed.
All right.
All right. So, Jinjin, the island troll, urban ranger.
The Island
That's me.
Troll.
Island troll.
Excellent. Steel drums.
No.
The Rasta troll.
You said he was an
Hey,
island
it might
troll.
work, actually. That actually might work.
Come on.
From the island.
Come on to your urban range, come on.
Come in here for a beating, man.
All right, I got
I
it.
use just wonder in mine.
All right.
All right, Matt.
That's an odd font to pick, wasn't it?
That's okay. It's not a big deal. All right. So my character, newly birthed in the last few minutes, actually is Vril Wisebloom. If I can remember this correctly all the way through. Vril is a halfling, thief, vigilante.
Nice.
So apparently the
He's an
spread
angry
of
little
my
man.
character points is interesting.
Very interesting.
Should have
Cool.
some interesting effects on,
Awesome.
on the crew here, as is per the norm. Intelligence from me is very low, so it's right up my alley.
Well,
So-
there's definitely a certain amount of irony with the largest man in this room playing the tiniest character.
I
So-
love irony.
I wanted to take that all the way through. So I would like to express extreme thanks to this guy right here, Tom, for walking me through in very, very short order all these things that I'm now going to have to figure out how to ingrain in my head.
There'll be a
every
quiz
time I
later.
play.
He's hoping that flattery is going to help him. Right?
No, it's totally not. I think he's figuring out how do you take the smoke. He was already talking to you about how do you use me as an arrow.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Projectile weapon. He is a halfling, and you are an island troll. So
True.
Right?
he
It
may come
may
in
come
handy.
up.
And by
Yeah.
the way, I'm sure that if you pick me up and do that, the sound of my name will be just perfect.
He will be
So
the meat shields.
the meat shield. So that's who I am, and alignments are going to be kind of interesting as well.
Yes, yes. Oh, and what is
Oh, I
yours?
didn't.
Chaotic neutral.
And what is Dunstan?
Dunstan is also chaotic neutral.
Excellent.
Yeah.
3.
Wow.
Chaotic neutral.
Perfect.
Well, this is going to be a bunch
Chaotic
of people
adventure.
yeah, it's going to be a chaotic adventure. You guys are just
However,
all
though.
in it for yourselves.
think
I
that
had
sounds-
considered chaotic good, but then upon a little more research into the island troll, it didn't make a lot of sense because they just don't think that far ahead.
Oh, really?
I have a feeling that this crew is going to
If
have
they
to go down
cared
to
about anyone, they might be good or evil, but they just don't care enough.
All right.
Well, we'll have to go
All
down to
right,
the docks
so,
and get
there
some
we go.
matching
Yep.
tattoos, right? Chaotic neutral.
And then for those of you that aren't familiar with what an alignment is, characters are, they can be good, they can be evil, they can respect law and order, they can, be totally okay with just the chaotic nature of random chance in life. And so a character's alignment is an indicator of their value system and what they feel is important and kind of what fuels them and what motivates them.
Yeah.
So,
So apparently we're all willing to do anything to anyone, anywhere, at any time.
for any reason.
For any
For any
reason.
reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
primarily for our own benefit, I think.
Or if it's
Possibly.
just plain funny.
If it's
Yeah.
just plain fun. I like that. Like shooting a halfling through
Like
a long
Because that just might be fun.
Hey, wow, that
Okay.
guy's head makes a really neat noise against the wall.
So that brings us to Tom's character.
Oh, guess who's here?
Who?
So our
Our sandwiches.
yes.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Stu is going to go eat our supper. Yeah, very interesting. So, Tom.
So then, so as the game master, it's my job to play every other character that these people will come across. So it is a lot of work and it's a lot of fun, and so at various times I could be the Sea Lord, I could be a captain, I could be a
Merchant,
rogue in the
beggar.
alley. Yes,
And
yes.
the awesome thing is he's going to voice every single one of them.
Oh my God! You guys are in for nails on the chalkboard.
They're all going to sound like
no.
the Shmoo, aren't
Yeah,
they?
exactly. so I play a little bit of everything, but just to know, we have there is one character who will be a non-player character, so it's referred to as an NPC, but we'll continue to hang out
Kind
with
of
the
a
party.
recurring
and-
character.
Yep, exactly. Will become kind of our fourth member here. So,
And who is that?
so that well, you know what? You'll find out. You will find out in
You know,
short order.
I think
It
that
just
makes it
isn't
even
fair.
more fun.
It
Because-
does make it
just
even more
isn't fair.
fun. Yes.
Well, we get
Yeah.
to get some introductions out of the way here, but there's always got to be some mystery.
Yes. Yes.
We're starting off, and I'm looking at this huge map here,
We
right? And I think that there's just some
we
really
smell.
fantastic areas across all of Freeport. They're going to be very fun to find ourselves
There
in.
is a lot.
So Freeport, from
In Freeport.
what little bit we can share right now, Freeport is an ancient city. I don't know how much you shared.
Just kind of some highlights on some of the background, and I guess we focus primarily on the districts.
Perfect. Good. Yep.
So real high level.
Freeport is a city of
Mystery and intrigue, from what I understand.
Yes.
Does that help? Am I
kind of a game
helping?
would it be
Am
if
I
there
helping
would-
at all?
Well, it's all the rules are laid out. We know exactly what's going to happen. Not so fun a game.
It's my job to be not helpful.
So
Ask Stu.
I like
Freeport is a
mystery and
place
intrigue.
where there is a well-established noble class
Okay.
and a high
There was
society.
a question about governance
Yes.
and how it's structured.
Yeah, so that's actually a really good question, and there is a government. The head of the government in Freeport is known as the Sea Lord.
Okay.
Yep.
So the Sea Lord serves as the highest ranking power in
Would
the
that
entire
be
city.
equivalent to like a governor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
So the first Sea Lord, way back when Freeport was just a small port town, was a character named Drac.
Correct. Which one of the districts is named after?
Yes, Drac's End. And
Yes.
so Drac, throughout his years,
Whoa.
had developed this into
People are
this
asking.
thriving port town. And we're going to learn a little bit more about how Freeport came to be and who this character Drac is and how the legacy that he left still continues to affect the city as it is right now. So
Cool.
there is and then right below the Sea Lord there is a council, a city council, so to say.
Okay.
Of roughly what you know about that is about 10 to 15 nobles.
Nobles,
Yeah, exactly.
Where the
Go
halflings?
figure. They're mechanics, actually. Yep. Yeah, they're mechanics and HVAC repair guys. So
Very representative of the mass population.
Right. So these nobles then form a bit of a ruling council, so to say,
Okay.
to manage the affairs of the city. But don't get it wrong that this is a place rife with corruption, where greasing the wheels to get what you want is just the order of the day. Getting thrown in jail for tax evasion is just as common as getting thrown in for, I don't know, poisoning your neighbor. So
I think
things
this-
are very loose. in the
This
city
little
of
bit here
Freeport.
seems to sum it up pretty well in regards to that. The city hums with backroom bargains, the steady stream of black market goods slipping beneath the nose of the corrupt harbor master. Assassins stalk the nights, cultists perform dreadful ceremonies, and pirates walk the docks looking to spend the blood-stained coins they've pried from dead fingers.
Nice.
Well put.
So I think that sums up kind of what we
well
were just
put.
getting at.
Yes, thank you.
Mystery, intrigue, and blood-stained coins
All
from
right.
corpses. What a great combo.
We're going to roll a hunger check a little bit later on to figure out when we're going to crack into that, but now is not the time. So, Stu, we were just giving a little bit of background here, and we are ready. We're ready to go.
Wonderful.
So,
Let's do it.
so the scene starts with Dunstan and Jinjin sitting at the docks, and there is a captain of a ship called the Water Witch, who is in the process of forcibly ejecting the two of you from the ship. And he says, "I never want to see you here again. You two are off. You and you. If I ever see you around here again, you're going right to the bottom of the bay.
What did I do?
You know what you did.
Fine.
If you ever string a person up like that again, I tell you,
Can I at least get my share?
your share,
Yeah.
your share.
Yeah, I worked for it, obviously.
You're lucky I'm going to leave you with the clothes on your back.
Well, how about my gear down in my bunk? I'll go get my gear.
It's mine now.
All right. All right.
And you, Jin. I'm disappointed in you. I thought you were different.
I did my job well.
You did nothing well on this joke voyage.
Not true.
I'm going to do you one favor.
What's that?
I'm not telling anyone else the level at your incompetence. Because you do have a good heart. I know this. But you'll be lucky to find work ever again.
Oh.
Now get out of my sight.
See if he'll give you your share.
Huh?
Forget it. Forget it.
You should ask for a share.
Can I have Jinjin's share?
Yeah, get out of here. So
All right,
you
so
can
nobody
tell.
gets paid.
You can now tell that by the reaction, you're getting nowhere with this guy. He is pissed.
All right. Well, Captain hates our guts, so
Good job.
all right. Off we go.
All
so
right.
that we get
So
summarily dumped on the docks, then, right?
So you're dumped on the docks. It's you and Jinjin, and you literally have the clothes on your back. You have nothing else.
Does Captain have a name?
It's Captain Scully
Scully.
of the Water Witch.
Okay.
Yep.
Captain Scully.
Which you will probably never ever see again. And if you do, you'll be lucky you walk away without a bruise or two.
I'm pretty sure that you will always remember getting scullied, though.
That's
Yeah.
right. You did just get the Scully.
Damn it.
So you're sitting there on the dock, and you really have nowhere to go. And Dunstan, you're no stranger to Freeport.
No,
You've
it's been a while.
It has been a while.
Mm-hmm.
It has been a while. You spent most of your time out at sea, but you do know of a place. You spend most of your childhood, from what I know about you, is that you spend most of your childhood actually raised by prostitutes, right? I mean,
Pretty much, yeah.
So can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah. I mean, Dunstan's background is he's the bastard son of a prostitute who is a human prostitute. Obviously, he's a half-elf, so he knows that his father was an elf, but he doesn't know anything about his father. He doesn't know anything about his father's origin. So he was actually raised in the brothel, and he had probably 20 or 30 mothers over the course of his youth. And then he received some limited training in swordsmanship and different skills from Johns, who frequented the place, who kind of stepped in and taught him a few things. But for the most part, he spent most of his youth and his teenage years trying to find a way to get out of the brothel and experience the world and stuff. Not that he wasn't loved. He was loved. He had a pretty good upbringing considering the environment. But he proceeded from there out to hit the high seas, and from there he just kind of bounced from ship to ship, usually because he had been fired and moved on to the next ship. He's got something of a reputation as being a good climber and good with ropes, but very bad at following instruction. So, yeah.
Nice.
Clearly,
Yeah, exactly.
Scully would wholeheartedly agree.
Yes. Yes. So,
Okay.
yeah, that's kind of where
Got a slight problem with authority?
Dunstan is at right now.
Okay, well, Jinjin, as you're standing there, you're sitting there, and you're pissed. I mean, this clown here pretty much just got you fired off the ship.
Ooh.
And I mean, you guys have known each other for the time on the ship, and you like him, but I mean, you're pretty pissed, and you're ready just to walk away.
All
This
right.
guy has brought nothing but misery in your life for the past
Okay.
week.
Well, I'm glad I
think-
wasn't on the ship.
I think I need to consult Jerry about this.
Jerry. Who's Jerry?
Jerry is an important little totem that Jinjin carries around. It's a small rock that happens to have markings that look like a face, and he carries around Jerry in this little pouch. And when there are important decisions to be made, he consults Jerry's opinion. Jerry's very important to Jinjin. He feeds Jerry, he waters Jerry, he talks to Jerry. He will kill you if you threaten Jerry.
Wow.
So would this be almost like a stuffed animal that he carries around?
No, it's actually just a stone. It's a
Okay.
rock.
Well, right,
Yeah.
but it's kind of like a
Well, yeah,
child's,
kind of. It would, yeah. It's
Totem,
it's,
yeah.
It's a little
It's very sweet.
keepsake.
It's very cute.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's his
Yeah.
little keepsake. His
Yeah.
little. No, there
Wow.
isn't a lot known why Jerry exists.
Right.
But you do listen to Jerry.
Yeah, Yeah.
Is
Oh, yeah.
Jerry right most of the time?
I talk to Jerry. Jerry's always right.
Jerry's always right. Okay.
He's like that stabilizing ground, you know.
The grounding
Yeah.
force in your
Yes,
life.
yes.
Okay.
And what's your
Literally.
Ginger, what's your wisdom score?
My wisdom score is 12.
12. All right.
Surprisingly.
12. All right. So,
Better than mine.
Jinjin, you kind of hear this like whisper coming from your neck. It's this voice, and it's Jerry.
All right.
And Jerry is telling you just to you just need to ditch this Dunstan guy ASAP.
All right.
So what do you think?
Well, yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. Okay.
Come on, let's go. I know a perfect place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Come on,
going.
I know. Yeah. Come on. It's a brothel, but it's okay. It's okay. I got a
I'm
friend
just gonna
there.
start
His
walking
name
as
is
he's
Basher.
talking.
Hey, wait a minute. You're not listening to me. His name is Basher. Okay. He and I used to hang out. He's been around town a lot longer than I have, and he'll know where we can go. Stop. Would you
Long
stop?
strides.
I'm having trouble keeping up. Would you wait? Where are you going to go? What are you going to do? Huh?
I know
I'm
things.
saying-
I know things.
What do you know? Have you?
I know how to work a whip.
Yeah, I know that. I've seen that. I've
See,
seen that.
Jerry actually, he's Jerry's okay right now with you going with Dunstan.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah. Why don't you roll a charisma check?
I'll stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your charisma score?
My charisma score is a 14.
14. Okay, good. And what do you have any bonuses with that?
Just the ability modifier plus 2.
So you get a +2 with that. Okay.
Yeah.
So why don't you go ahead and roll that?
A 14. I rolled.
Plus
With-
your 2.
It's
No, 12
12
plus
plus
14.
the 2.
So you got a 16. Well,
No,
all right.
I got a
12
14.
plus.
You got 14 total.
14
okay.
total, yep.
Well, okay. Well, guess what? So your charisma is able to win over Jinjin over here.
Reason.
Yep.
Wow.
Somewhat. Some kind of reason.
So you guys are going to
Okay.
start. Yep. You guys are going to start walking down the docks, and fortunately, it's not far until you come to a place where your friend Basher has been known to frequent from time to time. So
Okay.
you're going to come in and you open the door, and you hear this. Oh, Dunstan, my dear, how are you? We haven't seen you for ages. Where have you been?
I've been sailing the high seas,
Oh,
searching
that's-
for adventure and wealth.
Oh, that sounds
Which I
so
haven't
important. Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
And as you
who's-
can see,
who-
I
who
have
is this
no wealth.
friend you brought? He's huge.
And smelly.
And smelly. Okay, I was going to ask if you had done that.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
Jesus, yeah.
my big friend here, his name is Jinjin. We got to know each other on the Water Witch, where we had many adventures. He was the bosun there. Quite impressive, I would say.
Oh, well, welcome, Jinjin. And she kind of looks around like, I don't know if I can find a place for you to sit. But can I get you guys something to eat?
That
Yes.
would be great.
Okay.
Yes, I'll have anything with a fork, please.
Okay. All right. Well, good. Please, just come in and have a seat and just relax here.
Oh, this is great.
I will grab
so,
any chair
Well, there it is.
closest nearby.
You're gonna come in on your errand.
All right.
Okay. So you guys here, while you're just relaxing in the corner, and Martha is off fixing you up some shells and cheese.
Some shells.
Breaking all
I think it's
stuff.
probably a good time to maybe give some physical stats on.
Please do.
Jinjin.
Yes.
So-
why was Martha so?
Jinjin is 7'4" and 370 pounds.
Okay. I'm guessing your skin color is somewhat off.
It's a
shall we
purple.
say?
It's a
Yep.
purplish in hue.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. That's.
Is that because of the
Beautiful,
smell, or-
brilliant, pale blue eyes, though.
That's so nice. Right. If you can get that
boy.
close.
If you can get that close,
I like that.
because Jinjin does smell
Oh, yeah.
Bad.
He smells bad.
really
But I've
bad.
become accustomed to it. Yes.
It smells much like the docks,
Ooh.
That could be.
the fishmonger's market.
I was going to say. Fish carcasses.
But he doesn't seem to notice. So, so Jinjin is a very large individual.
And that's part of the reason why Dunstan has sort of, in a way, attached himself to Jinjin for safety, and also because Jinjin was essentially someone that he was sort of informally working for on the ship. As bosun, Jinjin was in part in charge of things like rope and tackle and stuff, and Dunstan is something of a rope monkey. So they, I think, had occasion to work with each other quite a bit. So that's kind of where the relationship begins. It's mostly a professional.
Jinjin didn't really prefer many of the bosun's duties except for discipline.
Oh,
So
that was his preference.
having a rope monkey nearby is very handy
Right.
for those particular duties.
I can do the lashings and the
But
splicing.
he was very, and I will do the lashings.
You did the lashings. Okay, you did the lashings.
More lashing.
I'll do this.
But he did migrate, Jinjin did, towards the disciplinary role of that particular. Now, granted, if you're aware of what a bosun does, it's actually a very complicated and involved job. Why the captain decided that an island troll would be good at it, I don't think he'll probably make that mistake
Well,
in
you
the
know,
future.
Captain Scully wasn't the sharpest knife in the drawer, so to say. So
It might have been availability.
It might have been a little too much rum, perhaps, but
any poorness.
Jinjin's stint as a bosun lasted about 1 week.
You guys were not long for the Water Witch, were you?
No, and it's mostly his fault.
What do you mean? It wasn't
It's
all
always your fault.
It wasn't all.
right.
My fault. I made it to the ribs on someone, but
Well, as you guys are settling in and old Martha is
Arguing.
making some shells and cheese, and you're both kind of sullenly sitting there, you do notice in the front door that you've recently come through, a small halfling come in. And he comes in and he's kind of looking around the room, and it's, you know, it's light outside and it's dark in there, so his eyes are adjusting, and he's kind of over there, and he's clearly looking for somebody. So
Make my way through. It's pretty obvious. I was sent on an errand, and that it would be pretty easy to find the two of you. I'm surprised that I wasn't given a better description, perhaps, of the fact that all I needed to do was to keep looking up and follow my nose.
So what's your what is your wisdom score there?
Wisdom is 11.
You're at an 11.
At an 11.
Okay, so we don't have you a perception skill check yet. That will come. So we're just gonna roll that. Oh, well, clearly, you notice in the corner that sitting over there are these two people that Martin Hawks, your current employer, has asked you to find. Now, you've been working for Martin for a few weeks now, and he's the head. He has his own auction house in the Eastern District, and you know Martin to be a very scrupulous guy. You know, your chaotic nature kind of you mesh well with someone who's able to act in the moment, and usually with people's best interest at heart. And you've never seen him cheat anybody. You've never seen him steal, which is actually sticks out quite a lot in Freeport because
what's wrong with you?
Yeah, exactly. So you actually have a lot of respect for Martin, and you know, as you're a budding vigilante, the parallel would be Spider-Man when he has his bad suit on, the bad Spider-Man
early
suit,
bad
the
Spider-Man.
the amateur Spider-Man.
Okay.
You need to do something to eat, right? So he fortunately, you know, you're kind of good at sneaking around. You're pretty good at slinking through the shadows, and Martin, while he is an upstanding man, is not above perhaps someone who might be able to, you know, pick a lock from time to time, or, you know, trail someone who's got some inventory that he's interested in bringing into his auction house.
Yeah.
So, you know, you've never actually committed any crimes in his at his request, but from time to time he's needed your services.
Absolutely.
Right. So he came to you recently, and you know, he's got a very good network, and the Eastern District also tends to be a place where ships' captains tend to raise their families and whatnot, and so there's kind of this neighborhood communication system, and he's been made aware that some friends of his brother Basher, you know, would be coming into port sometime soon, and that Basher particularly frequented this establishment, and he's asked you to go and find these two people. Very specific in his description. This kind of gangly, scrawny-looking wannabe sailor guy, and then a big island troll. All right, so you really can't miss either one of these guys, and you notice them sitting there in the corner. And your mission is to convince them to come with you to a small coffee shop in the Eastern District known as Cafe Ilkin.
Cafe Ilkin.
Yes. You don't know why, but he's asked you to do that, and it's just part of your duties for Martin.
All right. Has Martha returned with any food yet?
Martha is still banging away, making some shells and cheese in the back.
I'm thinking that perhaps because running on errands in order to bring some food onto my own table, it might be nice to get some while I'm here.
Cockles and mussels.
Help myself along the way.
Cockles and mussels
Cockles
from
and
Martha.
Alive.
Not even going there. All right.
Well, we are in the right place for that kind
That's
of thing,
right.
aren't we? So, don't let me be distracted from the job, though. The good thing is that hungry people often will listen to people as they're waiting for their food, so I can sidle up and check with these newcomers here
nothing
into town.
else to do.
They don't have anything to do.
Yep, nothing else.
No
to
menus
do.
to look
Except
at.
bicker back and forth on whose fault it
Absolutely.
is.
It's clear that that's happening. Not even entirely sure why the big guy just keeps talking to himself either. So.
All right. So
You could ask.
I could.
Does this have to look like he has any money?
He's got. You wouldn't say he looks particularly wealthy. He's got a set of clothes on his back. He's got shoes, which
Nothing's gonna fit
That's
you.
nice.
Yeah, none of it's going to fit you.
It's really gonna fit.
I don't have to wear it to sell it.
Well, maybe he wants to dress Jerry.
Yeah, maybe he wants to dress Jerry. And so far, Jerry has been silent on this halfling that's
Okay.
kind of come in and is approaching
Yeah.
you guys.
I kind of envision Jerry fairly innocuous and not a very prevalent force, but every now and again,
Is
He'll
Jerry
pipe
visible
up.
to others?
no, he's in a little pouch that Jim
Like
carries.
hanging off his waist or around his neck? Or...
It'd probably be around his neck.
Okay. Because that might be
But
the kind of thing
sometimes tied to his waist,
Okay.
but it's always very close.
that little satchels like that are of particular interest to me. I like to keep them. So,
All right, so Vril, are you going to get these guys to?
I am. Well, guys, it's you look new around here. You seem like something's missing from the table here while you're waiting. I thought I'd come over and talk to you and catch up a little bit, making sure that you're the people that, well, I was sent here to collect, to ask if I could invite you to another place across town.
But we haven't eaten here yet.
Oh, we don't have to go right now. Absolutely don't have to go right now. I would love to sit here and visit for a little longer, get to know you.
For what purpose?
Because I love new people. I love learning about you.
No,
Where you're
why
from.
would we go somewhere else? I mean,
Oh, because there's fantastic libations at this other location.
really?
Oh yes, yes.
Okay, what
And the
kind
master of the auction house has asked me to invite you there.
us?
You, absolutely, of course.
Us? I mean,
Yes. Well, you look
Not
like
exactly,
you look like you might need a little bit of
sprucing up?
help in town. I thought I'd maybe help you out a little bit, guide you around.
What's wrong with the way I look?
Oh, nothing's wrong with the way that you look. You fit in perfectly.
Is there
It's the look on your face of concern and perhaps a little, I'm lost. This
there
is
be
the only
food?
place that I know. I don't know if there's going to be food or not.
You said,
libations?
Libations,
Drink.
beverages.
yeah.
If libations are all you seek, then that will be enough.
An auction house?
We're not going to the auction house. No, we're going to go to a cafe. I was sent on an errand by Martin at the auction house.
A cafe?
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
We could stay if you're waiting for food.
Yeah.
Martha has wonderful cockles and mussels.
It goes in the shells and cheese.
Goes in the shells and cheese. Yes.
I think I might go. I'm gonna.
Now?
Yeah, probably.
Skip the food. Go right to the cafe.
Well, the cafe's
Show
gonna
you
have
around.
food too, and if it's paid for.
Sure.
I'm gonna
If
take a
somebody's-
look in my little coin purse, my little pouch, and see what's in there.
Nothing in there but a
Got
rock with a
anything in
face
there?
on it.
I don't think you got anything in there.
Looking back at you.
Yeah.
No, that's a different place.
Well, you guys clearly have really no other really better options. I mean, you can sit
Yeah.
here and hang with Martha.
Yeah,
They may
Do
have
you
forks
any
there.
better
I
options?
mean,
I'm going. Not getting a fork here.
You need a fork?
Martha has no forks.
Yeah, she serves everything with a spoon, man.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Are you saying Martha spooning isn't enough?
Correct.
Okay, well.
That's exactly what I'm
Well,
saying.
if you would like to come with me, I can show you the way.
You guys gonna do it?
I'm doing it. I'm
You
off.
in?
I'm going to the cafe.
Okay.
No food, I step on you.
Uh-huh.
I'll do my best.
Title of this episode will be Promise of Forks.
Promise.
I promise.
The Promise of
Forks.
Forks.
I thought we had that here. Oh, no.
No. All wooden
Wrong
spoons here,
spelling.
my friend.
So I need to know, does Vril care that Basher is Martin's brother and that Basher and...
Not yet. That'll
Okay.
come up. Yep, that'll come in. And you did notice
Understanding the
that
tie-in there.
Dunstan, that your friend Basher was like nowhere to be seen. when
Or
you were there.
Blitzen.
You know, and he's usually there gambling or hanging out. Blinson was not there either.
I would think
Yeah.
that there might be other things in the brothel going on that we might not have seen Basher.
Probably
So.
so. Yeah, great. Yeah, there's no sign of Basher.
Moving on.
All right.
All right.
Basher in a
kitchen.
brothel. Just there's something
Basher.
wrong about that.
Asher will turn up.
Or right. I guess depends on your point of
Or
view,
right,
I
yes,
suppose.
exactly.
I mean, from my perspective, I'm just subconsciously thinking about Basher because he may be a source of income given I'm broke. But, you know.
You and Basher did do you pulled some pretty sweet. You know, you didn't say it wasn't quite outright stealing, but you and he had some pretty sweet adventures with, like, you know, questionable circumstances around certain gambling games.
Right. Perfect.
May or may not have run out of a couple gambling houses barely with your lives. I don't know. Some of that stuff might
Yeah.
have happened.
Okay.
Perhaps. I don't know. But
the
you do have
stories
fond
are
memories of Basher.
Okay. Great.
Uh,
Well, if we run
so
into 'em, we
you will start making your way up from the docks into slightly north up to the Eastern District. Do we have an image of the Eastern District that we could perhaps...
We do.
Move up a little bit.
Hang on. Go to the map. All right.
There
so
we go. So we're kind of moving up from the docks, and then we've got... Why don't you just drag us down just a little bit so we can see some of the docks there. There we go.
Map.
So you're making your way, yep, from kind of that pink area right in the middle.
Right up in here.
Yep.
Okay.
So you start making your way up to what you know is the Eastern District, and what you know about that is that it is also the great bastion of the middle class in Freeport. However, the middle class is not synonymous with comfort and stability. Only the wealthy can really be sure of their future. For most of the scrabbling East Enders, often called Easterners locally in Freeport, financial ruin is only one bad business deal away.
So like real life.
Just like real life.
Yeah.
A decade of hard work can be washed away in a matter of days. Disasters such as this are known as the Scurvy Town Express, since newly impoverished East Enders quickly migrate to the cheap flop houses of Scurvy Town, or if they're lucky, Drax End, at the far north of the city.
All right.
That's rough.
What you know about the East End is that East Enders are always energized, always looking to make some quick cash or better their position. This ambition gives the district an exciting, dynamic feel. The streets here are full of hustle and bustle, wheel and deal. While many folks still live in multifamily tenements, they are generally nicer than those of Drax End and certainly better than the festering crap holes of Scurvy Town.
Crap holes.
That is a technical term, ladies and
Yeah.
Scurvy Town
Obviously.
technical term.
Easterners are more likely to have a row house of their own, and a lucky few even have small yards where they can keep a few chickens or maybe a goat or a cow for some milk.
Very nice.
The district is home to many small specialty shops and businesses, as well as up-and-coming sea captains and merchants. Craftsmen such as blacksmiths, carpenters, cobblers, and cordwainers. I don't know what a cordwainer is.
Cord wiener.
Yes.
Well, they wane cords,
They're
obviously.
they're waning cords. Yeah. They
Obviously.
Different than waxing cords.
all
Yes,
make
very
Eastern
different.
District their home, although those businesses having more olfactory impact are encouraged to keep their businesses in Scurvy Town. So
Jinjin fits
as
right
you,
So Jinjin worked in Scurvy Town.
Or found in Scurvy Town.
Could be.
Oh, he's not the only one.
So as you're passing through, you're walking up north. There's a small, that kind of white thoroughfare
Right up in here.
right up in here. If you can move, yeah, you move that mouse. Yep, there you go. You come across this big, large, open square right in the middle that you know. Who has the strongest knowledge local skill among all of you?
Probably me.
I believe you do.
Probably me.
Okay, you want to make me a knowledge locals then? So this is kind of some of the first game mechanics that we'll bump into, and what we're gonna do is roll a skill check. So Jinjin here has some. He's trained in knowing a little bit about the local environs and some of
I
this.
know where we are.
Recognize this a little bit.
Okay.
So being the urban ranger that he is, what do you got?
Can you give us the...
You got a 9.
I got a 9 plus 4, 13 total.
So you got a 13 on that. Okay, so
Great, but not
based
bad.
on the outcome of the roll and your small bonus afforded to you by having that skill trained, you know the Field of Honor is the center of the Eastern District, both literally and figuratively.
Okay.
By day, it is a commercial hub, and by night, you've heard it's home to cloaked duelists with flashing blades. At all hours, though, it is the heart of the Syndicate, the criminal organization that controls the Eastern District. So we haven't figured out your class yet,
All right.
but I think, Brill, if you could roll me a knowledge local check, and we're just going to base it on your intelligence. So do you get any bonuses with your intelligence?
7.
You got a
Bonuses
7.
with my intelligence. Intelligence is 10.
Okay.
0 bonus.
Okay, so you have no bonus, and you rolled a 7 on that. Well, you don't have to get too much because most people are familiar at a very minimum with something called Fin Syndicate. Okay, so Fin Syndicate is what you know is kind of a almost like the mafia here in the Eastern District, and at the head of this kind of shadowy organization, you do know that there's a fellow halfling character named Finn. And Finn is someone that you know you don't want to tangle with. You know, as an aspiring vigilante, you've kind of you've dipped a toe or two into some shady areas before, and as soon as Finn's names come up, people start to just kind of freak out.
Sure.
They're pretty scared of this guy. But that's about all you. That's about all you know.
All right.
So here you are in the Field of Honor, and you are quickly taking them to. If you can see number 7 on the map there.
Okay.
So we're going to the Freeport map. And just at about, if the Field of Honor is a clock, you're looking at about 10 o'clock. The little...
Okay. It's hard for me to, like,
There we go.
this all
You got it.
load up here.
Oh, there it is.
So
About 10 o'clock?
Yep, so right, the little number, so go, yep, right there. You just had it down
Right
one
here?
more. Yep, there you go. So why don't you make me, Jinjin, why don't you make me another knowledge local check?
All right. Oh, that's really good. 17 plus 4, 21.
21. Boom! Right.
He
Well,
sees into the future.
Yeah.
I know so much!
So back where you guys met, you heard that name Cafe Ilkin, and it just kind of jogged a bit of a memory. Now you're actually seeing the outside of this this small cafe, and what you know about it is that it's a hotbed of political radicalism in the heart of the Eastern District.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So you know that foreign exiles, because you are on, Freeport is on an island, and exiles often find their way to Freeport from various parts of the continent, and oftentimes they have to take up home here in Freeport to start a new life because for whatever reason they just can't go back to where they came from on the continent. And this place in particularly is famous for groups of these exiles to make grandiose plans of reform and revolution while sipping endless cups of cave, an exotic drink from the south.
Ooh.
So based on your pretty awesome knowledge local check, a little bit more color about it. And about 50 years ago, a young Azharan storyteller, and the Azhari are they're a race that's indigenous to this part of the world, and they are they're almost like genie people in a way. They have a tiny little bit of genie blood in them, and there was a young Azari. He was a storyteller named Ilkin, and he arrived in Freeport with a bag of kave beans and a simple idea. He wanted to open up a cafe in Freeport like those in his homeland. He bought a failing tavern in the Eastern District and christened it Cafe Ilkin. He hoped that Freeporters would embrace his new venture. Kave was a rare commodity in Freeport, one he suspected would prove an attractive alternative to beer and ale. Success did not come his way quickly, though, and Freeport's middle class proved elusive customers, but slowly Ilkin built up a loyal clientele. Cafe Ilkin was discovered by a group of continental exiles who adopted it as their meeting place. Other expats and immigrants followed gradually until eventually Cafe Ilkin was thriving. It became a place for heated political debates over steaming hot cups of black cave. Interestingly, the political anger in the cafe was always directed outwards towards the various continental governors. Freeport had provided a safe haven for those revolutionaries and dissidents, and they showed little interest in reforming the city. The few regulars who flirted with Freeport's politics were looked down upon. And Ilkin died a decade ago, and his daughter, Arzu, who grew up here, has taken over. She pays her protection money to the syndicate, which you know of quite well, Vril. And it pays for fresh water from the rainmakers, pays to keep the kave coming from distant ports, and pays the hellhounds to kick out anyone who gets too rowdy. That's right. She had to raise the prices of her cave after the salt curse fell, and we'll talk about the salt curse at a different time.
Okay.
But somehow people still pay, and so she still manages to make enough to keep the place afloat, but only barely.
All right.
All right, I'm going to stop kind of short of where we're going. And how close is he to me?
You're all, walking together.
All right. I'm just going to put my hand on the top of his head. Why are you taking us here?
I was asked to bring you here. I wouldn't take you anywhere.
By who?
By Martin, the auction house keeper.
All right.
I've heard some stories about Martin and
I've heard
Basher.
stories too.
I don't spend much time in other people's business. I've got other things to attend to, but Martin and Basher know each other, and that's a little request that Martin made of me. He's been good to me. I want to make sure that Martin stays happy with me.
All right.
Is Basher here?
I don't know where Basher is
he
at
here?
the moment. No one pointed out to me whether Basher was going to be joining us here or not.
Right.
Martin really, really wanted me to bring you over here. Maybe he just wants you to try some kave.
No. Dangerous place. Keep eyes
Yeah.
open.
Right.
We got the right people here, looking out for everyone.
There's no right people here.
It's gonna be fine.
All right. I'll keep going.
You're going to go in?
Yep.
Going in.
Okay.
Boom.
All right. Well, you head in to Cafe Ilkin, and just like you expected, there's a few little pockets of some kind of, they're not quite nobles, but they're definitely not the scum that you just left in the docks. These are solidly middle class people, and they're sitting around and they're sipping hot steaming cups of this cave beverage and kind of speaking quietly amongst themselves. Every now and again someone gets kind of animated and a little excitable, but for the most part it's a pretty well organized, well run. It's a comfortable place.
Okay.
And over in the corner, you notice a man sitting by himself who's dressed extremely well. He's definitely a cut above, what you had just seen, and just kind of has this air of I don't know, just accomplishment about him that seems to speak.
Okay.
He's kind of calm. You notice him right away, and you recognize him as Martin.
Mm.
I'm gonna bring him everybody over.
I may as well bring him right over right now.
Okay, all right. So as you sit down, let's do a. Let's see. Do you have a what's your diploma? Who has the highest diplomacy skill?
Not me.
Let's see. Diplomacy. Let's see. Well, I've got I guess with my charisma bonus, it would be a 14.
You're 14? Okay,
Yeah.
why don't you go ahead and let's roll a diplomacy check here.
A 2.
Not so good.
Hey, you got any forks?
So he sits down, and you clearly notice that this guy is like super worried. Like
Okay.
he is worried, and he looks at you and he goes, "Are these the people?
Seriously?
Are these the effing people?"
I'm totally confident these are exactly the people you asked me to bring for you.
God.
It was unmistakable that this had to be the two
Frill,
that you asked me to
listen.
bring.
The way that I understood these guys, I mean, I thought these were professionals. These are the scrubbiest looking two people.
Well, you
I've
didn't
ever
say
seen.
what kind of professional. I understand that. You wanted me to get them. I've done that. Absolutely. Like everything you've asked me to do. Here we go.
Okay. All right. So this guy is clearly he's under some he's under some anguish, and he just kind of
Okay.
mutters to himself, and he says, "Well, all right. I mean, this is just kind of please, gentlemen, have a seat. Have a seat."
Great.
So he invites you to sit down
Where's my
at the
phone?
table next to
Starving.
him.
All right, I'll sit.
Listen, gentlemen, I'm sure that this whole thing is a little, surprising that you've been brought here, and I do apologize for not sharing a lot with you, but I just, I'm really worried about Basher, and Dunstan. I know that you and Basher have known each other
Sure.
through some kind of, through some thick and thin circumstances, and I really need some help.
All right. Sure.
Okay.
What's wrong with Basher?
Well, listen, and who's this guy? And he points to Jinjin, and he's just, he's clearly, Jinjin is the source of his
Well, he's
discomfort.
he's Jinjin. Just ignore the smell. He's
Oh,
good people.
God, okay.
He's good people.
Okay. All right, so
There's kind of a foul stench in here compared to what it's normally like.
you sit down and you say, listen, I really need to just paint a bit of a story here for you about what you're doing here. Let me start at the beginning, okay? And he says, do you know who Jenkinhammer is? And Jinjin, why don't you do a knowledge local check? Actually, why don't you guys all do a knowledge local check? So knowledge local is going to be, I believe,
Intelligence.
Yep. So you all three can roll. You're probably not going to get a whole lot of bonuses on that. We don't. Yeah, you're a.
Idiot.
You got a 13 plus your.
Plus
I rolled a 12 plus 1.
So you're 13.
17.
So you're a 17. Okay. So you actually do. You have heard of Jenkinhammer, actually.
Okay.
And
What was the name again?
Jenkinhammer.
Jenkins.
Jenkinhammer.
Hammer.
He's got hammer in his name.
Okay, let's write this down.
All right. I know him.
So, what you know about Jenkinhammer is that he was a teacher at something called the Freeport Institute, like 100 years ago. And the Freeport Institute is it's like almost like a university. It's like an institution of higher learning, and it's famous for teaching and training wizards, magicians, sorcerers, specifically though alchemists. It's very well known to have a lot of alchemists and working Are there working alchemists around? Is that a thing?
It is a thing.
It is a thing. It's, I'm a
Yeah.
I think we
German
call them.
alchemist.
We call them. I think pharmacists now.
Yeah. It's almost
Drug
like the
dealers,
Globe
one
College
of
of Business in Freeport, okay? Yeah.
Right across from Orange Julius.
Yes, exactly. So, you know that Jenkinhammer was a teacher at this Freeport Institute. And you've heard some legends. And what you know about the legend of Jenkinhammer is that his father was a lumberjack. And he was a lumberjack that worked at Draxend, which is the north kind of edge of the city, which leads out into the rest of the island. Freeport is at the southern far end of the tip. So the north gate of Freeport empties out into this kind of rough and wild jungle. It's pretty dangerous out there. So as a lumberjack, he was working out there.
But he's okay.
He was killed.
Oh,
His
he's
father
not
was
okay.
killed.
Very not okay.
He's very, very not okay.
Okay at all.
So apparently, what happened is that his son Jenkin was brought to the institute and taken in as an orphan, and it was there that he was like this prodigy, okay? And he was extremely good, particularly with alchemy and like contraptions and devices. So as an aside, in Freeport, things like flintlock pistols and that sort of thing are there. So this isn't there's some machinery that's certainly present here.
Cool.
And this particular institute is known for being a center of study and innovation and design for mechanisms that are powered by magic and can harness magic itself. And so Jenkin Hammer became this prodigy. And it was there that he earned this nickname, the Iron Jack. So his father was the Lumberjack, and he became well known as the Iron Jack.
Okay.
Okay. And as an adult, he then continued to work at the Institute as a professor, and he taught magic theories and eventually developed the weather towers, which are magical devices in the town that are designed to help keep the super chaotic and really harsh weather that hits the southern end of the island with ferocity. Okay. So it was Jenkin Hammer that actually developed these magical mechanical devices that helped actually literally control the weather. Okay. So this is the top of the top. He's like the Steve Jobs of Freeport here, okay?
Nice. Okay.
But something happened. So after the towers were completed, he disappeared for like 10 years. Like the guy just up and left at the height of his fame and abilities, and absolutely nobody knows where he went. He just disappeared. But he did return. So as the legend goes, that he came back and just lit up by this like fervor and determination. And he was quite skilled before, but he came back literally almost with the fear of God in him as he was working on what nobody really knows. But for those that knew him, it's pretty well documented in journals and just has become kind of urban legend that he just came back like just lit up. But nobody knows what he was working on, and fortunately, his standing at the institute, was so high that nobody really bothered to question him or ask him about what he was doing. And then suddenly, 3 years into this mysterious return, he just completely disappeared again. He just left without a trace. In fact, he left with like stuff like mid-project. I mean, he was working on just these amazing devices, and he just left all of his work untouched, and it's kind of been this weird like parlor mystery ever since. Almost just like, it's almost like Jimmy Hoffa here is like, it's just this kind of urban legend. Yeah, like nobody really knows.
Where's Iron Jack?
Yep, and it's almost become this like game throughout Freeport to like speculate on what happened to Iron Jack. And in fact, there's a saying that goes around. It's a colloquialism. It says like, "Well, I'm going to make like an Iron Jack," and just need to like just up and disappear. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
like
so anyway, that's what you know about Warren Jenkins. And where are you going to share that with the group? I hope you are, because they all know.
I'll just. You mean Iron Jack Jenkins?
Yeah, you know the Iron Jack.
Who created the weather tower?
Yeah, that's right. God, wow.
Handy.
The
I remember
back
back
of the outfit.
I gotta stop judging a book by its cover. Yeah, you're right.
been
He
here for a while. I
instantly,
don't
you
know
see
a
him
thing.
just instantly relax and feel a lot more comfortable around you. Like you really freaked him out. So
Well, that's good, I guess.
yeah.
We'll throw that under some of those fun facts that
Yeah.
Jin comes up and surprises people with.
The brilliant island troll.
Yeah. And
Fount of
Dunstan
knowledge.
is just sitting there open-mouthed. Like, really? I didn't
So-
know
Know
any of that
about
crap.
Iron Jack.
Yeah, I'll go into basically an overview, kind of the same.
Okay,
That's
so you
awesome.
share with them and great.
Teacher at the Mages. By the way, they're also very good alchemists and designers of mechanisms. Blah, blah, blah. Just kind of go off on this tangent.
I didn't know we had weather towers here.
Do you have weather
Me
towers?
neither.
Yes.
Dang.
Yeah.
All
You'd
this
know
time
if
I
we
lived-
didn't.
Yeah, I guess.
All this time you're focusing on
I don't-
collecting forks. And
I don't
just
notice
missed the
much.
tower.
I don't notice much, to be honest.
Huh, would you look at that?
there's a monkey up there.
From down where I am, it's hard to look past Jinjin, let alone to see the weather towers.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so so you all established that you're on the same page, and clearly, Martin is is glad that you've heard about this guy, and he continues on and he says, "Look, I got my start. I owe this Ironjack. I owe Jenkin Hammer really my entire livelihood, because without him I would be nothing. And what I mean by that is I used to work at the municipal auction house, and while I was working there, I discovered some ancient papers that were part of this estate sale. And as I kind of started going through them, I realized that they were the journal entries of like a foreman on a construction crew, and he was renovating this old house just not far from here in the Eastern District. And it was like this, just log of daily supplies and the comings and goings of the crew and the wage, the books for the wage paying and stuff like that. And it seemed that this journal and the author of this journal was tasked with sealing off of like this weird like basement workshop that was abandoned by
sealing it
an
off.
alchemist.
Okay.
Yeah, just to seal the thing off. There were a whole bunch of these really weird and like bizarre contraptions. Some of them looked like they might be able to hurt people. It was just really it was really frightening, according to the author of this journal. And the owner of this building wanted this workshop just sealed off. Like, he didn't want anything to do with it. He literally just wanted it sealed off from the rest of the world. So there was something in me, some intuition, and I sensed an opportunity. And I went to go see Falthar. And why don't you do another knowledge local check on this guy, Falthar?
Not as much. 9. Ooh,
Wow.
18.
nice.
18. Wow.
Why Falfar?
So, Dunstan, you kind of perk up and you go, Falthar? What you know about Falthar is that he was actually one of the most learned men in Freeport.
Okay.
He hasn't been around much anymore, though. And it's you do know that it's rumored that this guy literally has the blood of angels flowing through his veins. And Falthar had a store in the merchant district called Falthar's Curios, and it was known as kind of being the place to pick up magical goods and perhaps actually hire him out to either identify or help do some research into mysterious items that had some kind of like arcane power. So it was almost like a magical Walmart that he was
Right.
running.
I mean, it was one of those places you always wanted to rob but didn't dare.
He didn't dare.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. I know
So-
it. I know it.
During what you know of this phase called the barbarian invasion that swept through Freeport years ago, his shop was ransacked and he completely disappeared. And he really hasn't been seen much since then. Now, this is not like Jenkin Hammer. This is not a legend. He's a guy, and you know that he's been alive and well. He's really well known. Just has kind of been a little hard to come by lately.
So, people generally think he's alive.
Yep.
Is that it?
Yep. It's well
Okay.
known that he's alive and well, and it's just that he completely had to, change what his livelihood was, and you know that he
Okay.
makes expeditions over the continent pretty regularly.
Got you.
So, anyway, back to Martin here. He went to go. Martin says, "I went to go see Falthar to see if we could, maybe borrow enough money to get into maybe buy the place. I figure if anyone would be able to help figure out what to do with some really weird magical contraptions, Falthar would be the guy to go
Right.
to." So I was able to raise enough money, and I bought the place. And it turns out that this was the workshop of Jenkin Hammer. And Falthar agreed to help me as a silent partner in this whole venture, and I decided that I was going to start my own auction house with all this stuff that I found down in this workshop. And so I did. So I bought it, and my place is called the Treasure Trove, and it's just south of here. In fact, you walked right by it on the way up from the docks. So the one thing the one really big thing of note is that when we dug out the basement, I discovered these two inoperable clockwork like construct things. Like they're almost like humanoid looking things. And when I say it looked like these things could rip a person apart, I mean it. These things are terrifying. But fortunately, Falthar said that there was no active magic in them and that they were safe. So we cleaned them up and sold them to some wealthy collectors, and I got like 3,000 lords. So a lord is a gold piece.
Okay.
And the sum, what you know about 3,000 lords, is like what a lot of people in Freeport might make in a year. So it is a huge sum of money. Mm-hmm. So he goes on and he says, now that I did that, I have a connection to the collector's market, and I know that should we be able to discover more of the Iron Jack's creations, that collectors will just go crazy for them, and I have the opportunity to make a lot of money off them. And so this is where you guys come in. I want to show you something. And in my recent excavation of the building, as I've been going through and cataloging some of these items, I found this. And he shows you a silver box.
Okay.
Let's see if we can get that. He shows you the silver box. It's about 10 inches wide and 6 inches deep and 2 inches tall.
Oh!
Now it appears really tall.
Yeah.
And it appears somewhat tarnished and old, but it hasn't been particularly cared for, so it's showing its age. And you figure it could be anywhere from 50 to maybe 150 years old. And on the lid, it bears the inscription which reads Iron Jack. And inside, on a dark velvet lining, is a steel key. Yes, it says Iron Jack. What could it mean? To describe the piece, it's a little bit hard to see in there, but the head of the key is formed like a cog or a gear.
Okay.
And in it are some key rings. And it looks like you could easily clip the key that's in there on one of the 9 hooks on this key ring. So it's just kind of there, and you start to ruffle through it a little bit more, and you find the small parchment that is tucked away inside of it. And it's got some writing on it. Would you guys want to pick it up and see what it says?
I'll read that. I'm great at reading. Okay. It begins as it began at my shop in the Institute. Keyhole is set in the floor under the foot of the... You read it.
All right, I'll read it.
Terrible reader.
I wanted to give you a shot.
Oh, please.
There. It begins as
just
it
hungry.
began at my shop in the Institute. A keyhole is set in the floor under the foot of the anvil that forged my identity. Turning the key will unbank the coals of my legacy. Heating the forge for my first challenge. Only the bold, the brave, the wise, and the skilled may complete this task. 'Tis not the guiding hand that faces the strongest chains, but opposition. The Iron Jack Jenkinhammer.
Okay.
Does that leave you out?
Why? Why?
You none of that.
None of what? I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
So
Turning the key will unbank the coals of my legacy, heating the forge for my first challenge. Only the bold, the brave, the wise, and the skilled. Ha ha. That's what you were joking about.
You know what?
May complete this task.
Legacy's just another word for money.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, now you know.
Uh-huh.
It said bold and brave. He was laughing at you.
Oh, it's all right. Interesting. So, what does this have to do with us? I don't understand.
That's a fantastic question, Martin responds. And he says,
Weekend legacy.
Listen, this is where you guys come in. Dunstan, you and Basher go back a ways, and I'm sorry, but I have some bad news. Is that Basher has been thrown in jail.
Fine.
Okay, he racked up while you've been gone. He racked up an incredible amount of gambling debt, and after months of dodging every loan shark in this godforsaken city, he's been arrested and thrown in jail for what? Tax evasion. That's how things go in Freeport.
Busted.
Oh, what a rube.
Busted.
I can't believe he got caught for that. He owes me money.
So Dunstan, you may be surprised, but word travels fast.
All right.
Especially when you have the connections that I do, and I know that you've been kicked off the Water Witch. I know you have nothing but the clothes on your back. So the timing might be right just to help both of us out.
Okay.
Here's what I have to offer you. I can pay you 10 lords a week and your companions if you will help me discover what is going on with this. Because here's what I think. I think that there's more treasure and there are more contraptions that we can sell together to raise money for Basher's de-incarceration.
Okay.
So we all get 10 lords?
You all get 10 lords.
To split or
10
individually?
lords a week.
Individually.
Each.
Not only
That's
that,
pretty good.
but listen, I need people like you because acquiring inventory has been getting more and more difficult. The more that I've operated this house, the more collectibles that I've been able to sell, and I'm running a little low. And I just know that wherever this path leads, there's more to have. So I'd be willing to cut you in on 30% of whatever we make.
I'd buy a lot of chicken. A lot
I
of
like
chicken.
chicken.
You like
What
chicken?
do you like, chicken?
Oh, yeah. Dying for a chicken. I mean,
And turkey.
yeah, and lemons. Oh, my God. Lemons. That'd be great.
Lemons and chicken.
All the lemon and chicken you can handle.
Ah, thank
Oh,
you.
lemon chicken.
I'll do it. I'll
You
do
can
it.
swim in lemon and chicken with the money that we can make in this.
Yeah. Well, I'm in because, I mean, I don't know if it's scurvy or what. It's starting to itch a little bit. So
Why don't you guys all make a knowledge local check?
9.
21.
All right. Well, what you know about this is that he's actually giving you a pretty fair offer. This is like a pretty honest and fair deal.
Yeah, 30% each. That's pretty good.
Do one of you guys have sense motive? Do you have any of that trained?
Sense motive? I don't.
I'm certain I do not.
Okay, I believe that's going to
no.
be a wisdom
I
based
don't.
check.
Oh,
It
boy.
is.
Count me out.
Wisdom.
That's sense. Okay, well, why don't you everybody roll? You won't get any bonuses, but why don't you go ahead and roll?
Wisdom bonus, I guess. 3.
5.
Huh?
My wisdom is 6, so
Do you actually have a penalty?
I have a penalty.
You actually
yeah,
have a penalty.
So
Okay.
I rolled
And
a
you
12.
and you still got the highest
technically.
of the lot.
Okay.
Actually, I did, yeah.
All right. Well, you do know that what he's offering you based on your knowledge local. I mean, that would be the going rate for mercenary
Yeah, dude.
sword for hire kind of
Yeah.
work.
I couldn't make that kind of money working at the brothel.
10 lords a week plus 30.
No, you probably couldn't.
And
Dude, oh.
and as you're kind of sitting there looking at each other, considering he says that he'll offer you 2 meals a day and 2 rooms at the Sea Cat's Folly, just an inn around the corner.
You guys can sleep in the same room.
A what?
He said 2 rooms, not 3 rooms.
What makes you special?
I said it first.
Okay. Well, you're the littlest dude.
I
Why
got
would
you.
you have your own room?
Because I got you hooked up with Martin. Seems like a pretty fair deal to me. You guys know each other. You're used to each other. I just need my space. I need some privacy.
I'm sleeping no matter who else is in there. I don't care.
Could you wash your pants at least?
So in the midst of all this,
It
you guys
rained.
are figuring out how to not have your bromance in your in the inn there. You notice that Martin kind of turns and there's been a woman sitting back in the corner the whole time, and he motions for her to come and sit next to him at the table, and so you see this totally beautiful woman get up, and she's dressed in this like stately kind of blue dress. I mean, this is like, we're talking high society here. And
Hey, lady!
she's got this like auburn hair and these blue eyes, and she comes and sits down. You know, she's wearing these gloves. She has these like very like supple like deerskin gloves, and they have this like kind of blue accents to them. And you could almost like, there's something with these gloves. There's something just a little. There's some. These aren't just, you know, fashionable gloves. There's something like powerful about them. You just don't quite know what it is. And she sits down, and Martin mentions down. He said, "Gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to Harlan. Harlan Montague of House Montague." And she extends a hand to each one of you and introduces herself. And she says, "Gentlemen, it's an honor. It's an honor to meet you."
Wow, that's bullshit. Oh, sorry.
No, you know
she's
that.
just
You know a
being
woman of
courteous.
this caliber would never associate with you. But as an indicator of her manners and grace, which are clearly well refined, she would say nothing but the most gracious things
Sure.
to anybody.
Sure, of course. Yeah, just because I'm socially clueless doesn't mean that she isn't who she says she is.
So Martin says, "Listen, men, Harlan has become a trusted friend of mine over the past few years. Her family is clearly quite wealthy and have bought some of my pieces, and some of the objects that I carry in my business at the treasure trove have brought some attention from some unwanted parties. And it seems that House Roberts, one of the ancient noble houses of Freeport, has taken an interest in anything that hints at arcane power. I've heard whispers that the House Roberts has sent out spies into circles all throughout the political and business world here, hunting for anything to give them an edge up on the cutthroat world of the aristocracy. And Harlan is just nodding in agreement. And Martin goes on, he says, "You'd think that with all that wealth and comfort, everyone would just simply be fat and happy and content, but sadly that's not the case. It turns out that greed just makes people greedier." At that point, Harlan cuts them off and shares that she's the young scion of an up-and-coming noble house. She's not one of the major houses, but she's clearly a member of the aristocracy. And she says, "My family has survived over the ages by being responsible, not flashy, and quietly protecting our business and political interests. Each generation of my family has one member that demonstrates a secret arcane power, and at a young age, that person was me. I've been trained in secret by my family in the arcane ways, and I have only now begun to harness what I know is a deep and innate connection with magical forces. So as I was brought up in school, I clearly showed my aptitude, and now that I've come of age, I'm filling the role in my family. We have one every generation of a protector, so to say. So it's my mission, my duty as a noble of House Montague to protect my family's interests. And we've learned that House Roberts is clearly intent on tipping the balance of power. It's very, very delicate, even at these high echelons of society. You think it's dangerous down in Scurvy Town? No.
Yeah.
Way
It's
more up
even
in the
more so
nobility.
dangerous. A
So-
cocktail party held by the Sea Lord is even more of a backstabbing affair.
House Roberts is basically a rival noble house
Yes.
to Montague.
Well, you see, something that you probably don't know of a person, born into the station that you've been in is that the nobles and the aristocracy work very hard to keep a balance of power, and we do so simply because if one family gains too much power, it could mean the end for everyone who is not a member of that family or in that particular circle of influence.
Okay.
So, but we must work in secret to protect these family interests, because if anyone knew how cutthroat it was at that level, I mean, there would be revolt. I mean, everyone in Scurvy Town and Blood Salt and the trolls and the orcs and everyone would simply rise up and there would be chaos, and this city would be destroyed in a matter of days. So we worked very, very hard to actually protect everyone and keep the balance of power straight.
Quite a balancing act.
So we find stuff for you.
So I have a
away
favor.
from Roberts.
I have a favor. Let me accompany you and find out more about what these contraptions are, and because I sense that there's some very powerful magic at play based on what Martin has shared with me, and knowing what I know about the Iron Jack and his legacy.
So what else is in it for us?
Well, perhaps unimaginable wealth.
I like unimaginable wealth.
I don't know.
Sounds
I can
good.
imagine quite a bit.
Yeah,
You'll get it.
Yeah, yes.
I better.
Well, will you let me join?
Why not?
I say yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Helps me out. Helps you out.
Thank you, gentlemen. You won't be disappointed. I promise. I will carry the weight of whatever it is that I need to do to help protect everyone.
Start with me.
All of
I'm
us
tired.
He wants to be
Pixie
carried.
I carry him.
Here, let me get in the backpack.
Just throw him to wherever we're going. He'll meet us there.
You sleep in that corner.
Okay, so
All right.
are you gonna let her join?
Yeah, we're a party
Sure.
of 4 now.
Okay,
She's got
all right.
skills.
Great. Well, we have we now have Harlan Montague, who is a human noble of House Montague, who you can rely on to be able to cast some sorcerer spells.
Okay.
And she is now a member of your party to interact with as you see fit.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Okay?
I'm just trying to figure out what I bring to this party.
Besides the clothes on your back, we don't know yet.
Oh, I've got a pistol. I don't have any shot, but I've got a pistol. That's it.
Well, speaking of shots, and Martin perks up and he says, "I'll bet you gentlemen, this is now time to have some fun. It's time to go shopping."
Excellent.
Yeah.
Listen, gentlemen,
Go for that.
as you all know, money makes the world go round, and we have to get you started off on the right foot. So we're gonna take a little trip over to my associate's shop, and there you shall find everything you need: weapons to protect yourselves, armor to stave off blows, and torches to light your way, and anything else that you may need. So it's time to go shopping. And
I like your friend.
And
I'm
I
going
will
with
give
Martin.
you. I will give you all. I will give you a small stipend with which to go shopping and acquire what it is that you'll need to embark on this.
All right.
This is a fantastic plan.
Are you glad that you came with me to Cafe Ilkin?
I'm glad. Yes.
You could have still been down in the brothel. Maybe your food's ready now.
With your cockles and mussels, but instead...
And cheese.
Look at
And
you.
cheese.
Yep,
And
and your
cheese.
shells and cheese.
Okay. I like shells and cheese as much as the next guy, but
Right.
Weapons, armor.
yes, I have to think of the greater good here.
All right, so let's go shopping.
He's got
Okay,
all
let's
that.
go
All right.
shopping. How does this work?
So you're going to make your way down. So each one of your character classes has a starting wealth, and that will be what we begin
Okay.
with here. So I'm going to...
Pretty sure
you gonna-
mine's a
are you gonna roll
D100
for
plus
us?
1,000.
Nope, this is you guys. So you will roll your wealth here, and I believe
I think mine was like it's a D10, but I gotta.
well, I think those are those are going to be your hit dice. You as a free
Not my gold dice.
Not your gold.
not your gold dice.
Pretty sure mine was 10D20, but
Yeah, probably. I'm sure that's what an island troll carries around at all times.
well, they find a lot of things.
yeah,
You know?
rocks and stuff.
Yeah,
nib
it's
nibs,
valuable rocks.
All right, so you
shake people
are
up.
looking to start. Your starting wealth is 4d6 times 10.
46 times.
We're actually
10.
going to get some dice rolling in here,
46.
folks.
That's 460.
4D6.
No. 4,600.
And you,
Okay.
Vril,
Dunstan.
No, 460.
Vril, you are
Let's-
5d6 times 10.
This is what you got. I'm just setting them back down.
Okay. 8, 10, 13
13.
times what?
Times 10.
Times 10.
What'd you
Okay,
get?
awesome.
130.
$130?
130?
All right.
Okay. Cool. Dunstan's 130.
All right. Vril, you get 5d6.
What?
Well, he's a vigilante, so he
How do
kicks
I-
somebody's ass.
Which ones do I use?
Took their
Took
stuff.
their
Five-
lunch money.
five-
Yeah.
Here, you can roll these.
So do you know which?
Nope.
Okay, so these are 6-siders.
Yep.
These two are 10-siders, so you can actually roll 1 to 100 between the two of these. This is the 10s and this is the 1s. 12-sided. And the pyramid. So 20-sided.
So which one should I use for
8-sided.
this?
So you're gonna do 4. The projectiles have already started.
You can roll 5 of those bad boys.
5 of those times
Man, I
10.
usually
Times 10.
cannot hit to save my life. I rolled well.
Yeah, you did. Add them up.
15.
All right, Vril. $150.
Is it lords?
150.
150 lords.
100.
Yes, yes.
That's a lot of
He
lords
gets
of
150 lords, and I only get 130 lords.
All right,
No.
Jin. What does a
It's
ranger get?
Ranger.
Good lord.
Good lord.
You get, starting off,
I got
5d6.
5d6.
No whammies.
Our audience is shouting Jerry.
Jerry. All right,
Does
so we
Jerry
got
get a roll? I don't think Jerry.
Jerry is
10 and 10 is 20.
not. Wow.
How come
All
he's
right.
so loaded? Because
I got 200.
They're hiding in the folds of his chin.
He got his share from the ship, too.
He didn't get a share from the ship, did
All
he?
right.
He got a share from the ship, but I didn't.
I got
thought he
a
did.
I thought-
200
no, I think He got
legacy.
kicked off at the same time. I don't think he got his share, but
I thought he got his share because he was
I-
very intimidating, and I didn't get mine because I was a
I
twerp.
I was able to negotiate a severance package
That-
before we left.
That's what you're
before
going
you
with?
strung people
So
up.
I get
Alright,
200
whatever.
legacy.
Whatever.
Because that's what Jinjin is calling them. Legacies.
Legacies?
Okay.
Yeah, because that's what you told me they were
So
called.
we
yeah,
are
yeah.
gonna go and do some shopping.
Because legacies buy a lot of chicken. I remember
That's
I
right.
said that,
Legacies
didn't
buy
I?
a lot of chickens, so I've got 200 legacy.
200
So
legacies.
We can
Yep.
Wow.
bring this over. All right, so everyone can kind of share here.
Oh, we're out of room, so you got to bring the book this
Out
way.
of rum? Why are we always
We are out of rum.
But we've got
Yeah.
we've got a list
that's right.
of weapons and shields here, and we have. Let's see. This is a little, and then we have equipment, goods, that sort of thing here.
Got it. Okay. Cool.
All right, so you guys might want to decide first what kind of weapon you want to be using.
See, that's the beauty of this.
Yeah,
The
I mean,
equipment
the-
list's
the
there,
D-
and we
the
can
D20.
kind of divide our time here a bit.
Yeah, so if you want to put up on there, like we can go with, if you go to d20pfsrd.com,
Oh, that was my.
and then if you go to,
There's an equipment section, right?
yep, so if you go to equipment -- final,
Okay, we got equipment. Okay. Weapons. Well, let's see. Okay, so we basically have this budget that we just rolled, and we have that for equipment plus whatever walking around money we have left over.
yep.
Hopefully. Okay, got it.
Catch off guard.
What?
Catch off guard, which I believe was the feat that I chose. Which allows me to improvise any melee weapon.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah, very nice.
So
Yeah, we kind of talked about that at one point, didn't
so
we?
I can grab anything and use it. And actually, it's got some nice bonuses to it. Unarmed
So-
opponents are flat-footed.
You could like go to the general goods store and
yeah.
look at tools.
I
And
could
stuff.
look at
That's
tools.
freaking awesome. I love that. I
Get a
love
wrench.
that. That's awesome.
Wrench, chair leg,
Anchor.
anchor.
So you probably want to get your weapons. What I would recommend starting out with are things like weapons, a couple torches, any shields or armor that you might want to wear. Now, Dunstan, you probably are going to suffer. Wearing armor, you're going to be suffering some
Sight cone.
penalties to dexterity checks and that sort of thing if you're wearing anything
I think
more
I'm.
than light armor.
Yeah, I'm good with light armor, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do light armor.
Yep.
But that's okay. I'm cool with that. I like light armor. So I see lots of shields here.
What was that URL again?
Armor.
Say again?
What was that URL?
D2.
Oh,
Sorry,
so
everybody.
so D20P, and then if you do a / equipment -- final. And then feel free to use the lists in the book here as well if you want to.
Gosh, I'm looking at this and it doesn't really
Final? Oh, I think I've looked at this.
specifically say. Oh, I see. Medium armors and light armors. Okay, I gotcha. Ooh, that's expensive. Okay. I'm gonna pick up myself a set of Studley leather armor.
Ooh.
You can't wear that.
Yes, I can. I'm Studley.
I think it's studded.
Oh,
Oh.
well, that changes everything.
That means you've been studded.
Oh man.
Ooh.
Sent out to
Well,
stud.
that has a whole different context.
Well, he was raised in a brothel, so I
I
suppose
guess
out to
that's
stud
true.
is going to fit him very well.
The best stock available.
He's not going to be starting off with any Hell Knight plate.
Studley leather armor.
Studley leather.
Okay.
So then a couple of house rules too. We're not going to track, if you guys do get ranged weapons, we're not going to track individual units of ammo. That just gets too
Oh,
crazy.
Okay.
gotcha.
So if you get a bow, you get a bow and you don't have to worry about buying
Arrows.
normal arrows. If you wanted anything like special arrows, like silver arrows or blunted arrows or cold iron arrows or anything like that, you would be paying
Okay.
book cost for that,
Okay.
and we would track those. But longbows get normal arrows.
Okay. That makes sense. Now, I'm assuming I'm going to have to. One of the things I'm going to want to do is buy extra shot for my pistol then.
Yep.
And that's going to come from the Freeport book.
I would assume
so.
Yeah, let's see. Where is my... Here we go.
I know this is all
Here.
really exciting, audience, as you listen to us shop, but it's necessary. Otherwise, this adventure will be over after the first encounter.
You won't get too far.
It'll be a
Yes,
very
I
short
know.
movie. Yes.
So here you go.
Thank you.
Yep.
Wonderful.
All right.
Okay, so
So tell me about the armor check penalty.
So that it's part of a calculation when you're doing. I'm actually going to be looking this up right now because
Yep.
now we're starting to get into some mechanics that I do know that there are certain things that you're gonna take penalties on rolls to do certain things if you're wearing a class of armor that's anything above light.
Okay.
So especially if you're doing things like acrobatics or certain kind of dexterous. I think I'm making up a word here. If you're doing anything, any kinds of those actions, if you're wearing anything but light armor, you're going to suffer some penalties against that.
Gotcha.
So generally, heavier armors are going to have a negative impact on more nimble type activities. So acrobatics, for example.
Yep, acrobatics, fly, let's see.
Fly isn't like really cool and good.
Yeah. That's fly, man.
Yeah.
It's pretty fly for a halfling.
Yeah.
Fly guy. And your big goldfish shoes.
That's a classic.
Well done.
Gonna get you, sucker. For those of you who don't understand what he's talking about, go watch I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker.
Get you. That's spelled G-I-T, just to be clear. I'm gonna get you, sucker. So, Matt, any armor heavier than leather, as well as any shield, hurts a character's ability to use dex and strength-based skills.
Okay.
An armor check penalty applies to all dex and strength-based skill checks. A character's encumbrance may also incur an armor check penalty. So the other thing too is that there are rules for what's called encumbrance, meaning that your character can only carry so much stuff. However, tracking that is kind of a pain in the neck. So we're not going to be too strict about that right now.
Unless we get, like, ridiculous.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't push it, buddy.
So if you start looking like, oh gosh, who was that?
If you have goldfish platform shoes, we're probably going to start tracking
All
it.
right. What's the name of the horse in Monty Python?
The horse?
Yeah, that had
God.
the huge chest on his back.
Oh, I don't know.
Guys, start doing some coconut shells.
Yeah. I think he got shot with an arrow, but he might have been one of Sir Robin's too. I don't remember.
Bravely brave Sir Robin.
He bravely ran away.
Cannonball. He was not afraid to die. Oh, brave Sir Robin.
Wow, you know a lot more
He
than
was
I
not afraid to die or be killed in nasty ways.
I think that's enough music for tonight.
He was not afraid at all to be mashed into a pulp.
So you, as the tank, are probably going to go with some fairly bulky armor. So I have a sense that
Probably.
you are going to end up being the tank.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Meat shield.
yeah, the meat shield.
I was
We're going to get you
thinking
hockey
more-
jerseys. One said
thinking-
meat, and then shield on the back of the other one. Meat shield.
All right, so
SHLD.
standard kit that Brill needs to be decked out in, a little bit of armor, just some weapons, shield if necessary.
Heavy
right?
armor,
Yeah,
great
probably-
sword, tower shield,
Great sword.
Yeah, you're probably maybe even a shield. I would forego because
buckler
if
at
you,
best.
He's light on his feet. He doesn't want to be.
Yes,
he's-
exactly.
I'm
I don't
just
think a
thinking
sword
some
is
studded
longer than
leather and a
anything.
couple of daggers
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
So.
I'll stud your leather there, buddy.
Oh yeah. Studded and a hooked gauntlet.
Just make sure you get the buttless chaps, all right?
Yeah,
Are you
this
still
was a
working on
studded
those
leather.
things?
Actually, I think all chaps by nature
Okay.
are buttless.
It's
but,
happening.
you know.
Awesome.
Okay, so I got the weapon part figured out. Now I know what armor I'm selecting,
think
but
I've
I need
got
to figure out
simple
where that
and
gets
martial
recorded on the
first.
sheet.
You'll have martial weapons, yeah. So you can
I
go
can
anything
marshal
down.
my
You
weapons.
can.
Yes, please do.
Two arms, and two
Okay.
legs.
Wow, this
Something
website
ridiculous,
is
like a
handy
scythe.
dandy, man.
It's amazing.
Whoever came up with this is awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Shout out to the
whoever you are.
D20 PFSRD crew.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Flail.
If only you could have just dropped the PFSRDD part.
Absurd. I'm thinking something simple. Yeah, no. So we've got brass knuckles and I think just a heavy mace. Keep it simple.
Okay, armor shield bonus.
So
I'll
armor.
put that.
Yeah. Weapons. Okay, do we have an armor section? These are all weapons.
Okay, so what it says here in this table, it's like armor, cost, and then it's got a column that says armor/shield bonus.
So that's going to be the bonus to your armor class. So the whole point of wearing armor is that you become more difficult to score a hit on for enemies.
Right.
And your armor class starts off with a base number of 10, and then that is either added to or subtracted from based on a whole bunch of factors.
I think that column is just whether it's a piece of armor or a shield. So.
Right.
So, for example, my armor class on the character sheet here, and I think yours might have the same. My armor class, right by the microphone, is a function of my armor bonus, the shield bonus, the dex modifier, my size modifier, natural armor, deflection modifier, and any other miscellaneous. So there's a whole bunch of different things that all go into the number that creatures will need to roll in order to score a hit on you.
Okay.
Sorry. I just watched Harry Potter, so I can envision all these little house elves named creature attacking you. I don't know. I thought it was funny, but
The creatures.
there's a lot of things in my head that I think are funny no one else knows. Well, I can't get any of the heavy armors.
Okay.
They're too
I'm
expensive.
looking at our character sheet that we've got here, and seeing where some of these
Always like
stats
scale
get
mail.
recorded. So armor check penalty, there's really no place specifically on here to put that. There's size modifier, natural armor, and deflection listed here, but there aren't any sort of
It's kinda
matching stats on
miscellaneous,
this
I
table.
suppose.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool.
Armor check.
All right.
Check,
I
check.
think that about does it.
What is my dex?
Does anybody else need to look at this Freeport specific stuff, or is that just me with the firearms?
Oh, unless there's something kind of interesting armor weapon wise besides the firearms.
I mean, yeah, it's primarily the stuff they have listed are things that are an exception to the rule.
Right.
So it's pretty much all firearms.
Okay. Yeah.
Although, at some point, it would be awesome to see Jinjin actually hold a cannon in his arms and fire it. That would be cool.
Very cool.
Probably be one of those. If you,
I'm sorry, I should have said skidoo.
no, what the hell are those called now? With the big flared out bell.
It's called a blunderbuss.
A blunderbuss. Blunderbuss.
Blunderbuss.
Not a bust. It's a bus.
Or you could get a 3-gauge shotgun.
That would be like a pistol, I
Everybody
suppose.
on the
It would be,
blunderbuss.
yeah. The blunderbuss is, yeah.
Yeah, they're
I'm sure that somebody
exceedingly
was.
accurate.
Yeah, absolutely. That's like shooting something out of a trombone. Yeah.
More.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm pretty much taken care of in just in terms of weapon and armor stuff. So then it's at this point it's really about miscellaneous gear, other things we might need.
Yep. So I will say from
Two,
experience,
okay.
you've kind of looked through the adventuring equipment part. There will be some things that you just assume you have that when you don't, will go.
Oops. Okay.
So number one of which, you're probably going to find yourself in some darker places. So
Yeah.
some torches might be
I do have a
worthwhile.
racial dark vision.
Dark vision is awesome.
Hopefully.
Have it.
Unless all
However-
these bastards with lights around me. are
However, if
screwing
you
me
do
over.
end up in combat in the dark, everyone will suffer serious penalties except for you.
I'm okay with that. Sorry.
It's that chaotic neutral is coming out.
Gonna fight him alone, are ya?
Nope, but I know where to retreat at least.
Uh-huh.
I'm out of here.
We're finding stuff like torches
luck.
and all that stuff.
So I think that's all going to be under.
Equipments, goods, and services, adventuring gear, I would assume.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Well, they do have the collapsible bathtub. You might want to pick that up, Jinjin.
Why?
Engine doesn't care.
No need.
They don't make a collapsible bathtub big enough.
Look, they
for
got
Engine.
soap, too.
No need.
Maybe some rope, some kind of.
I have
signal.
no doubt that I will get caught in the rain at some point or have to swim somewhere. So
Yeah.
we're good.
Okay. God, I can just see Dunstan.
Those of you that are into disarming traps, perhaps you want to get some Oh, I don't
I
know.
don't think I can hide.
Maybe you could get a scent cloak.
I've already got one. It's natural. I don't have a real good sheet here for all this stuff.
Okay.
So, what?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just trying to imagine Dunstan suddenly having a pile of gold and then going shopping. It's kind of like, I need a whistle, and I need, like I need an air bladder, and I need, what's this? I need one of those. Give me 5 of those. And it's going to be all stuff that's like, what? Why did you buy a ball of twine? You never know. Okay. Oh yeah, it's kind of all grouped into reasonably good categories.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, boy. My character sheet's going to be a huge mess by the time this is over.
Yeah. Yeah, mine's kind of all screwed up too. That's alright. Bludgeoning. So far, all my weapons are bludgeoning.
If anybody is still with us at the end of this, we're going to be very surprised.
I know. You guys are saints, those of you who are left.
Still hanging on with us
So
here.
what we're going to do is we're going to get all the gear. We actually don't have too much longer to play tonight, unfortunately. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through, get our gear, we'll update our character sheets, put everything online, and then you will see various tweets, posts on Facebook and the website, etc., etc. That'll go out kind of letting you know where all the updated equipment lists are and stuff. We haven't totally figured out how we're going to record all this stuff.
wow.
We've got PDF character sheets, but we're thinking there may be a better way for us to do this. So we appreciate you bearing with us here. Sweet.
Oh, that's too bad. Whip is an exotic weapon. Oh well.
Well, it's something you can work towards.
Something I can work towards. Got a liking for it on the boat. Wasn't very good with it, but
Clearly.
This is freaking awesome.
You were not successful
so
on that
great.
boat on pretty much anything you tried.
But I ran through the pre-trip checks.
You did.
Dunstan,
Looks good.
Yep.
well, when Martin told us this story, he said something about a key and a keyhole in a floor, which suggests going down inside. So I have bought myself 10 candles and a helmet to put them in.
All
I'm
right.
good to go.
All
Candle
right.
helmet only cost me 2 copper pieces,
Candle helmet. I like it. I love it.
Yes.
Yep.
and it's gonna look classy.
Yep.
Very, yes.
Keeps going out. What the hell?
Where'd the candle go?
So yeah, I also got a candle lamp too, but I think the helmet is better. This is amazing. Like, you can buy yogurt on this.
You can buy
list.
yogurt.
Yes, they got.
You never know what'll come in handy.
No.
Oh, that's
no
hilarious.
You need an ear trumpet?
kidding. An ear trumpet. I might eventually. Okay.
All right.
What are you guys getting just like for general adventuring gear? I mean,
Backpack.
Good idea.
yeah, you can carry all our stuff. That's great.
It's not
idea.
that big.
Get the big backpack, the really big one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get the one that's not full then.
As long as there's
Full of what?
room enough for me.
It just says backpack empty. What am I gonna buy a full one? Is it gonna have packing peanuts in it?
It's gonna have a little tissue in it to keep it shaped.
Yeah. You know, some of those you can eat.
It's very attractive on the shelf.
That's great.
No use, but it's excellent.
Okay. Ooh, yeah, I guess I need this stuff.
Caltrops, I don't know if I need those. Chain, never know when you can use 10 feet of chain.
Might come in handy, might be totally worthless. I don't know.
A chest. What was I talking about? The
Put it on the horse.
Patsy. I think it was Patsy.
Patsy the horse.
Who is almost fatally wounded. I think I'm gonna make it. Alright. Flint and steel seems like a good idea.
Flint and steel would be a good idea.
Hammer! Hammer!
Hypnotic hammer.
Ink to throw at people?
Well, you might want to leave a love note.
Here, you can buy an Iron Maiden for 500 gold.
Really?
Execute them. Bogus.
Dude.
Put them in the Iron Maiden.
Excellent!
Oh my god.
A long time since I've seen those.
Awesome. Okay.
Pitcher, clay. Is that like a mound? Like a mound of clay? For the pitcher?
Oh, yeah. Well,
It's not a pitcher's mound?
No,
Oh.
it's just a clay pitcher for water.
Oh. Does it look like a guy throwing a ball?
You could like knock it over someone's head with it, you know. Totally. Pitcher. His name is Clay. He's from the Dominican Republic.
Clay's a very common name in the
Yeah.
Dominican.
Duh. Senior Clay is going to come and make an appearance sometime in this adventure. Where's Senior Clay?
Senior Clay. Come to throw things.
Yes.
Belt pouch seems helpful. Yeah. I remember spending hours doing this shit and
Come on, this is like
pouring over books.
picking your characteristics in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's homework.
How's
You do
the-
homework for fun now.
How's the nose going to be? The eyes spread? What
Yeah.
the eyebrows look like? Does they have ear hair or not? You know?
I have to admit, though, I mean, back then it was much more practical. You know, I was thinking about what am I going to need for adventuring. And since then, I mean, it's sort of evolved into more of a role play exercise, and I'm thinking more like, what would he do?
Right. Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
For sure.
Yeah,
You got a special pouch for forks you pick up along the way?
possibly.
All right.
Possibly. Yeah. For sure.
For sure.
Yeah. This is brilliant.
So you're not going to get a signet ring?
Ooh. You know, I can almost guarantee you that Harlan Montague has a signet ring.
I would be
needs that.
surprised if not.
She needs that.
And sealing
Yep.
wax. What am I gonna get here? Oh yeah, that. Alright, I do not need a whetstone. Because everything I attack with is bludgeoning. Much easier upkeep.
So, a little trivia out there. Does anyone recall the name of Bill and Ted's band?
The Wild Stallions.
Oh!
WYLD.
With a Y. Correct.
Oh, God.
That's incredible.
Well done.
That's disturbing that we know that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Wild
I I am nearly done here. That's fantastic.
And then he went from that to John Wick.
Right.
Yeah,
know, right?
Well, there were a few stops in
Well,
between,
there was
but-
a couple, but
Uh-huh.
you know, it's hard not to hear him in some of his dialogue. And
What's
and
the
hear-
YouTube?
Is it Bill or was it Ted? I don't remember which character he played. What's that?
So the YouTube URL is user. So YouTube.com whack user
Oh,
whack
CouchWarrior TV.
CouchWarrior.
Yeah, you can also do youtube.charactercrusade.com will get you there too.
So I'm thinking the artisan's outfit would be appropriate for Jinjin.
Why not? Sounds practical.
Are we picking up rations as well?
Don't worry about that.
I've played in groups where you run out of food, you run out.
Well, we are traveling around
But-
with a noble who might know some places.
Yeah, it depends again.
Wanna
If
go get
your
a burger,
game wants
you're
to
with
be,
Holland Montague.
if your game wants to be in the book, or if you wanted to have it on the table, it's really kind of what it comes down to.
I'm actually liking the idea of buying some Dragon Punch whiskey because apparently there's something
Oh, that sounds
advantageous to the halflings. According to legend, the inventor of this dark and harsh liquor actually did attack a dragon barehanded. Halflings who drink 4 cups of Dragon Punch whiskey in the space of an hour take a -4 penalty to dexterity, but gain a +4 alchemical bonus on saves against fear.
Wow. Yeah.
So I can't move around very well, but I'm going to help others in the meantime.
Dang, I really wanted a water clock too.
Liquid courage,
That's
literally.
exactly what it is. Rum Boozle. What a great name. Ooh. Potent drink with rum, wine, ale, eggs, sugar, and spices. Ugh.
Okay. I think I am done.
Oh, well, we've got to just get that
Yeah, look,
because
you can buy absinthe too.
don't like that.
Never had it.
I don't like it. It's not very good. Do you like black licorice?
Yes.
You might like it.
I'm one of about 11 people on the planet that
Ah,
apparently
yeah.
like black licorice.
Yeah, it's
so.
an awful creation.
Come on. Okay, so
So we go through some of the things that I want to get.
Yeah, what are you
here,
guys
because
buying?
I've got
Clue us in.
a tiny person, right? So
Yes.
I'm not carrying around a lot of stuff,
Yep.
right?
What'd you choose for your weapon?
So 2 things. I have an ankus and a punching dagger.
An Ankus?
An ankus is basically the thing that you would use to goad an elephant around, right? It's about a 2-foot long stick with a little spearhead and a hook on it.
Yeah.
Which in a pinch you can use as a weapon, but it's one of those things where if I need to get through a crowd, I think that it would be a great way to just sort of push and pull and get people out of the way.
Well,
right?
so the crowds of Freeport are pretty gnarly, so
Yeah.
you're going to need that. That's
So
my
I help
coming in.
myself around. The other is a punching dagger, right? So you literally are swinging and you have a knife available inside like a little pipe, right? Kind of a thing.
Yep.
Not a lot of shield action, just a
No,
arm,
you don't
just
want that.
Just
Yep.
a little arm buckler, just
Yep.
a little something that I can
Yep.
push through. Studded leather, just a little bit of
God, you're such a stud.
safety covering. I was just going to go with the leather armor, but there was
You're a
a little
stud.
bit of
You
advantage.
need studded leather armor.
Needed to throw some
Yeah.
money at it,
Yeah.
right? Just a few little things buying along. The sun rods seemed very light and easy to carry.
Excellent find, by the way.
I don't think I'm going to get any torches because I've got the sun rods.
Nope.
Since I don't need rations. I actually did get a signal whistle just because it seems like the kind of thing that I would carry around. A little bit of rope, and then I have sprung for a little extra and bought some thumb screws. Because
I like it.
I can
Because
help with those.
I'm not a big person, so I might need some help if I need to
you got
Tighten
move
them.
somebody around.
Tighten
right?
them down a little. I can help with that.
Just until you hear the
One
cracking.
more turn on it.
Yep. So I need to make sure that out of the lords that I have, that I can afford all of
You
them.
got a few lords left. Yep. So what was your total?
I got to work on it and find out what my total is.
Okay.
Here, so
I'm
Right.
a cheap date so far.
Okay. I went with Dunstan has purchased a set of studded leather armor. Okay. He has the pistol, of course, and then he's He's purchased a rapier
Very good.
for a sword.
We have to be very careful how we start pronouncing that for the length of this campaign.
Rapier.
Yeah, very good. All right.
Yep. He bought a 50-foot coil of hemp rope.
Very good. Don't smoke it.
Okay. No guarantees.
You can't tell him what to
No
do.
He
guarantees.
bought a candle lamp, 10 candles, a candle helmet because of its usefulness. And then he bought a captain's coat, a scarf, and some perfume.
I like it.
Yes.
I like it.
Cologne. I'm sorry. Cologne.
Oh, the eau de toilette.
What are we doing for silver to gold?
Usually a
exchange?
10 to 1.
10 to 1.
Okay.
So 10 copper to 1 silver, 10 silver to 1 gold,
Okay.
10 gold to 1 platinum.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take this opportunity to thank you for following along tonight. I know it was kind of a weird one, but it's our first time out, and it sounds like we're ramping up for a big adventure next time around. So what we're going to do in the meantime, we're going to finish up our shopping. We're going to report that back to you, and you'll see posts from us coming on the website and so forth, on Twitter, Facebook, probably YouTube as well. I'll probably do a channel update, kind of doing a rundown of kind of where we're at with things. And some of this stuff we'll be producing, obviously, as audio. Some of it we'll be producing as both audio and video snippets as well. So I think that'll be pretty cool. So just kind of stay tuned. Let us know how you feel about it. Obviously, we had a few technical problems, but I think I know what the source of those were, so that we should be able to avoid them next time around. So
It was Jin.
I want to thank you all
Matt's fault. It's always
for
Matt's fault.
coming and joining us tonight. It's a grand experiment,
Matt's
so
fault.
please give us your feedback on Discord or on the website at charactercrusade.com, and we will see you next time. Thank you all very much. Bye!
Yay!
Bow.
Bow, down,
Bow,
down,
now,
down.
now, now.
Bow.